I'm going to 100% Hollow Knight Silksong, which includes getting all of the tools, skills, upgrades, silk hearts, crests, abilities, beating over 40 bosses, and completing every mission to see the true ending. In the fairy tale Cinderella, the princess goes to the ball in a carriage, but there is no happily ever after for the hornet rotting away in a cell. That is, until a magical creature jumpstarts our hero with enough silk to grip onto the bridge, crumbling the walkway, bringing a falling end to her imprisonment. Act 1, Pharloom. Well, at least I survived the fall.
That was a close one.
In the Moss Grotto, I familiarize myself with the blade and discover I can self-heal. This game's gonna be a cakewalk with that ability straight out the gate.
I don't know what's coming.
What I wish I started with was a master key because I'm already locked out. Guess I'll have to do things the old-fashioned way, taking down the Moss Mother of the house. I rage bait the mom, prodding with my needle as she overreacts with a rock slide and sends forth her own children to witness her own death. One boss down, who knows how many more to go. However, I'm still injured from the fall and soon pass out.
Hey, come on.
I'm with you. I won't have you dying on my floor. Typical old lady, more concerned about her floor than my livelihood. The snail suggests I ascend to the summit to find out why I was brought here. Thus, I begin my travels in Bone Bottom, where I follow the sound of somebody singing in a place like this. Why?
The door! The door!
The door?
The door!
What is the door?
The door can see into your mind! The door can see into your soul!
Really? The door can do all that?
No.
Join your voice with mine, Red Maiden. I don't sing. I prefer a more practical way, preferably with some violence, because that's usually what triggers things. See? What I tell ya. Oi! Did you see it, Red Maiden? The Great Gate heard my song. Gate, gate, gate. Nicest gate I've met. Onto the marrow before I lose it, where I find my first tool, the shard pendant that nets me more shards for slaying creatures. Not even 10 minutes later, I hear more singing from within the caves. Who is it now? Any soldier. I come in peace. Her name is Chakra, and she sells maps along with similar accessories. I grind nearby enemies until I have enough to buy the whole lot, including a quill to add new areas to my map, a compass to track my location, bench pins so I know where I can heal, and some markers. But what I need is something that can cut through spider webs because my needle just ain't doing it. Luckily, just around the corner was a statue resembling a weaver that, when binded in a manner like this, granted me the Silk Spear skill. Aw yeah! It does use up silk though, which I get for hitting foes, but I'd rather use it for healing. Jeez, a lot of people like to sing down here. Oh, hello, Moss Druid. This fellow asks me to grant a wish for him, aka a side quest, to gather 3 moss berries for him. While doing so, I got a little sidetracked, stumbling into a cave with bells of all things. And oh my, do I free this beast? I'm playing Silksong. Of course I came for the battles. Behold, the Bell Beast. I gotta say, the first thing I am struggling to grasp with this game is the down air attack. I'm used to it being more like a pogo, but this one darts down diagonally. Thankfully, it's got a long body. And man, am I out of practice. It's been years since I've played Hollow Knight, although I do survive to the second phase, and am made to be the belle of the ball. And I'm gonna say it again. I don't like the Hornet's down air attack. It got me killed here. Fortunately, my stuff is still there, and I attempt to slay the beast again. I realize I need to pay attention to the sounds it makes when it emerges from the bells to know its next attack. When it's purely a rumbling ground noise like so, it crawls across the room. When you hear the monster grunting on its way up, it leaps across the room. And then when you see the dust form in the middle, you know the bells are coming. But what I need to focus on is not dive attacking until I'm close enough, which after a few attempts, I'm proud to say I did. This provided enough silk for me to heal. And shortly after, the big bug was broken and tamed. I not only earned a silk heart from this bout that helps regenerate silk, but I also adopted a pet. I'm gonna name you Steven, my trusty fast travel buddy. Back to Bone Bottom we go. Surprise! I brought a friend.
Stephanie, you almost gave me a heart attack.
Don't worry, he'll stay put. Now what's the shop got for me? I buy a craft metal, I don't know why, then some rosary string, which I learned was a ripoff. The shopkeeper charged me an extra 20 beads to safely secure 60 on a string. You'll live and learn, I guess. Also, it looks like the residents of Bone Bottom have set up a board with side quests. I donate a couple hundred shards to assist the town's repairs, while spending the beads on fast travel location markers. Then head over to a flea caravan where I'm told many of their flea cousins are missing. This begins a mission that will take an entire playthrough to seek out every flea. I'm also tasked with gathering shawls dropped from defeated foes. Anyways, the exploring continues, blowing myself up in the face, getting more used to the down air, fleeing from booby-trapped explosives that was hiding craft metal, and entered a reddish area where I accidentally stumbled into a boss fight. It's actually not a boss, but felt like one this early on, because it deals double damage. First things first, I need a closer spawn point. To my delight, there was a bench right beneath the pseudo-boss encounter. It not only has a place to sit, but the place also doubles as a prison. This orange meddler was passive, and also had straight pins in their cell that I could use as a tool. Now back to the fight at hand. This guy was a trickster that messed with my brain. How? Well, whenever they would jump attack me, I'd run the opposite direction. The correct reaction was to walk under them, which was easier said than done because my brain could not compute that since it felt so unintuitive. I had to work smarter, not harder. If I couldn't change my habits, then I would change the environment instead, luring the warrior to the left with low ceilings. And it was a success! All they could do was dig and swing, dig and swing, dig and swing, and to be extra safe, I threw pins at him. Talk about unofficially turning down the difficulty. I then proceeded to follow the red ants on the ground to Hunter's March. By the looks of it, seems to be the home to all the red ants. And these guys are no pushovers. Usually the minions walking around are dummies moving left and right, but the red ants are definitely a jumping skill. On the bright side, this colony's soldiers are all muscle and no brain. Man, there's more of them! They're like ninja warriors with those shurikens. The worst thing about Hunter's March is there are no benches to recover with here. I'm gonna retreat for now until I've built enough confidence. Don't get me wrong, I can handle the heat. So much in fact, I ride this lava transporter thingamabob. What smells in here? Ah, it's the potheads. I knew it. Their gimmick is obvious, only being able to puncture them on the sides. They let you guys fly wearing those? Past those smokers were the deep docks. I got my maps and pins for the area from Chakra, and sadly wasn't able to progress much further. I did get to stop by and chat with someone called the Forged Daughter. She's selling some good stuff, including Ocean Drive Studios' new game, the sponsor of this video. Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch is a turn-based tactical RPG with roguelike elements, starring Ash, equipped with a huge sword, and is stranded on a mysterious island along with his friends who he can't seem to remember. Bro, I don't know how you forget a baddie like Evie. She not only is a healer, but can whip out her sword when needed. There are 8 playable allies that all have main and secondary weapons, allowing you to mix up your strategy when needed. So far, I've recruited 4, and I'm really feeling the Fire Emblem inspiration with the combat and relationship building. During and after battle, stat increases occur. You have to pick between rewards and upgrades. There's D&D dice rolls, and a lot of the battles vary. Like here, I changed my strategy to let the monsters and bad guys brawl it out, then I sneaked in to kill steal the experience. And then one time, the mission changed to mid-battle for me to retreat due to being ambushed. To top it off, there are boss fights at the end of each chapter, so go download Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch with my link. It's available on all major platforms, including the Switch, and if you want to try out a free demo, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 have you covered. Plus, your progress transfers to the full game. The Forged Daughter also has a coworker who is a nice pothead that didn't try to unalive me. I guess pots aren't always violent. Anywho, I'm sure we're all done hearing those obvious innuendos, and I don't want to die to slugs that spatter magma. Plus, there's nowhere else to go here. Everything is shut tight. So let's get a move on to look for fleas and moss berries. I exchanged the latter for the Druid's Eye tool that replenishes silk whenever I'm hit. Afterwards, I figured out I can attack certain flying bugs to hop across gaps that maybe weren't meant to be crossed until later. Well, kind of. These mosquitoes are placed in just the right spots, so it's definitely designed to be done like this. And unfortunately, so is this loud, giant, upside-down mole that spits acid. Really classy, bub. At first glance, I assumed this COVID sneezer was a boss, but no, they're just an annoyance, and patience was all that was needed to make it past them. On the other side was a mask shard, which I need 4 of to add a life, and a door that I unlocked with a key bought from Bone Bottom, which cost $500 by the way, opening the wormways. According to my experience when I was a child, worms are harmless, but these are indeed not. A dash ability here sure would be nice. In fact, I can't go any farther without some kind of mid-air aid. Way to go, Andrew. 500 bucks totally wasted. I have no choice but to confront the Hunter's March in hopes that it will lead to something. Saving a flea makes me feel warm fuzzies inside. However, I needed to prove my strength to the red ants in a duel. By this point, I had to learn this particular soldier's patterns, avoiding each attack followed by a slice of my needle. That eventually won me the battle, but not the chakra. What are you doing? Never mind, I'll take the help. A new sky unit soared in, slashing its spear, dive attacking, and chucking its weapon. Together, we took down that bug, but it wasn't over. More ninja ants appeared, more aerial units, and more grounded infantry. I panicked and couldn't find a safe spot to heal. I need a moment in between waves. I can bind recovery mid-air? It may be too late for that discovery as I'm still getting beat to a pulp and make the cowardly choice to run away from combat while Chakra does all the heavy lifting. Come on, girl, get them. I gotta live. I need to live. Thank you. Now give me that map, please. I hate this place, and I hate these mini gauntlet challenges I can't seem to stop running into. Good thing this one was a breeze compared to the last trial, and I'm glad to be out of here on the other side of the deep docks. What skill will I learn here? Yes! The dash! I can do anything. I can dash over a gap to save a flea. I can rescue somebody who's already dead and take their memory locket for myself. I can reach switches, opening gates that have been blocking my way. I can, You look like a Batman Beyond villain. Her name is Lace, and she claims she can save my trip to the top by skewering me. Yeah, no thanks. I'll take my chances. Initially, I'm way too dash happy, sprinting midair at every chance I get. Calm down, Andrew, and heal. Her methods are simple. Wait for her to finish swords dancing, then strike. Here she comes again. Throw a pin. I keep my distance and see her attacks coming from a mile away, allowing me to throw in an extra slice. My mind is clear. She's got nothing on me. Lace attempts to throw out a few new tricks, yet completely misses the mark. She even adds a counter. I throw her a bone because I wanted to see the animation of me getting diced up, but ended it shortly after. See how she ran away, Hornet? That's how you acted in Hollow Knight.
So that's what that feels like.
Leaving the lava, I head towards greener pastures in the far field. Multiple shadow Pokemon roam this land, such as Oddish and Carnivine. Chakra is always one step ahead of me, and is this for real? I'm in a place called the Far Fields, but I have to traverse lava again? Do these rings even do anything? Oh, come on. Now, who could be living in a house like this near an active volcano? A seamstress of all people. She promises to transform my cloak if I gather her 25 spines. I'm assuming she means from these round guys. Nothing, though. I try a few inhumane acts to maybe harvest some from the Oddishes, but no cigars. I then go down a spiral of confusion here. While fighting this roller, I see a spine dropped on the ground. Perfect. I believe I found my next victims. However, after hunting a few more of them, none of them dropped spines. And to top it off, I can't leave here until whatever my next upgrade is from the seamstress. I'll cut to the chase. It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out that I needed to not necessarily slay the floaties that shoot spines, but I have to attack the spines themselves. Well, that was a lot more confusing than it had to be. Why couldn't I just pick up the spines as they are?
You were making this harder than it has to be.
In the end, it was worth it because she worked her magic sewing me a drifter's cloak. Hey, I wasn't done changing. Whoa, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, that was careless of me. At least I got a mask shard out of it. I am so ready to leave this dump. Shucks. Fourth chorus. I immediately go for the head, and it's the right spot. The machine then reveals its hand and slams it down. It repeats the action, but this time does a side swipe. And that's pretty much the boss. They telegraph their every move, and I hit them plenty, giving me the silk I need. Halfway through, the bot rattles the ceiling, hoping some hot ones will land on me, but none do. And I keep whacking that head, trying to throw me off. The clanker wipes out a couple dried lava pads and shakes the roof again. Come on, I was hoping that robot slur would have made you mad. The closest they got to scaring me was leaving only 2 platforms while they were swinging their arms. To that I say pathetic. Let me be free. Woohoo! Backtracking. Where will it take me next? Here's a warding bell that will protect me while I heal. That could be a game changer. Except nothing will protect me from being stupid, like going back to the dangerous worm ways. I hover over the gap I couldn't before and encounter these evil little worms. I hate those things. I can't believe there's a room in this area without constant digging noises. It's quite nice, actually. It's not perfect, though. These bell chuckers are more annoying than they deserve to be. A sound I do love to hear is Chakra singing. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier that she is searching for her master. master. And I'm going to start keeping track of useless stuff I will never use. Like this dead bug's purse that saves money upon defeat. And I hate these little offering stands that make you think you're gonna get something back for your payment, and you just get a rosary string back with 20 less than you put in. Next to that scam was Shellwood, where the fishermen mistake me for a water strider to be hunted. And oh, it's my lovely friend's voice again. Yes, Kare. Hey, I'm short, remember?
Yes,
that does not make me feel any better. Hearing the cry of a flea, I pogo jump up some buds and meet Flowey the flower out of his element. It's kill or be killed here. The plant's white exterior along with its aim matches that of a storm tree. It seems the ceiling can be broken through. I've got just the idea. Dang it! The answers to life are often the most boring and consistent truths. I continued upwards, which led me to Greymoor, a land barren of much life because of killer crows. This must be the town where the crows killed everyone in the movie The Birds. Seeking shelter, I find an inn. Actually, it's a halfway house. That's fine and all, but you shouldn't be serving drinks in a place like this. One of the residents is new. Those big lips are tempting, but I resort to keeping a hunter's journal of my foes for her instead. Greymoor continues to be a graveyard of the dead being risen by Silk to do the bidding of whoever is reigning up high. And remember Edward Scissorhands from 1990? Yeah, he's back too.
Yeah, I rented the movie Edward the Scissorhands. And that the Johnny Depp, he making me cry.
I also crossed paths with the warrior Garmin and his steed Zaza.
Manito.
Sorry I woke you up from your nap. Sometime later, I got the map and fought an army of crows that had different classes among their ranks, such as ninja crows and jabbing needle wielders that upon their defeat unveiled bouncy objects throughout the land. Using this new material, I elevate higher towards my goal, save a flea along the way, keep going up with the new traversal method, and bind a new attack, the Thread Storm. It's this attack she used in Hollow Knight, and I never used it once even to try it. Since I had found 5 fleas, I was thanked by the Flea Master for my service and asked if I would accompany them on a trip with their caravan. Of course, I'm shoved in the back with the jolly polka players. Greymoor? I just left this place. They serve flea brew as a departing gift, which increases my movement and attack speed. That sounded awesome until I read you had to pay for refills. East of the Flea's camp was a manor I hadn't had access to before, filled with bear traps, cause you know, the rats. And this is my second memory locket. I've been forgetting to use these, so why not now? They expand how many tools you can equip. Nothing in my gameplay changes from it yet, but it most certainly will. Anyhow, going west of the Fleas, I'm spooked by the entrapment of many who are caught in the webs of silk at the haunted Bellheart, and am given a new mission to break the curse ensnaring them. Well, sorry, I don't know what to do about it. They've been trapped for probably days, so what's a few more to them? In the Chapel of the Reaper, located in Greymoor, I fight more of what I have before to pay my respects to a dead body by stabbing it. More? I have bound the crest of the Reaper. Well, this kind of sucks. None of the memory lockets carry over to the new crest. I'll still give it a go. The swings are heavier and reap more silk from enemies. With it, I crack open a wasp nest back in Shellwood and find the little buggers were hiding a long pin tool. But before I can equip that, I have to take on stick bugs in another part of Shellwood. They're not as kind as Slim from Bug's Life. A discovery I made during the stick fight was a change with my healing. After doing so, the Reaper crest would cut out more silk from whoever I jabbed with my blade for a temporary amount of time. More opportunity to heal? I'll take it. I keep exploring every corner of Shellwood and meet an extraterrestrial. I was not expecting aliens in this world. Apparently I woke them up, which I admit is rude, so I accept their request to gather Paula parts. Purple flowers scattered throughout Shellwood. But I found something even more valuable. The Reaper crest enables pogoing that the Knight had in Hollow Knight. And this is only the second crest. Surely there must be more, and I can't wait to see what they do. Traversing through Shellwood is gonna be, what's with all the thorns? I guess I was due for a boss battle soon. Sister Splinter smacks the ground in a rage while I easily dash out of the way of her raised fists as I knew they were going to pound the ground. She dipped for a moment to sprout more briars, then returned to the fist hurling. I kept up my up air slashes, bringing the Ivy Lady down to earth to land a few freebies before they retreated. The coward then spawns flying Groots. Sorry, buddies, but I know you'll respond. While the Sister Splinter was no problem 1v1, the added Groots put on just enough pressure to bring on the hurt. My biggest flaw was my stubbornness. I wasn't adapting any of my tactics to phase 2 and would let the Groot flies get the best of me. For some reason, I just wouldn't respect them. It took a few spankings to finally learn my lesson that their second attacks don't give an F about you. If you try to parry the spin move, they will roll over you. Thus, I changed to the hit once and buzz off strategy. Prioritizing the little guys would leave the big sister exposed to my wrath. I wasn't perfect. However, there was a third phase that on my first time encountering, laid down the thorns. Literally. So once again, I had to adapt. First phase, I went all in. Second phase, I hit and run the groups. Then third phase, didn't worry about striking back until I survived. The briars had to be pruned first. Or if I couldn't do it fast enough, Big Sister would tear them down for me. Aiming at the groups from below would secure damage, and after living through 2 waves of that pokey nonsense, the fight returns to normal. A few more swipes and I had attained victory. It was a bummer there was no tangible reward in the aftermath, but a new part of Shellwood would have to suffice. This next part I don't even know how to explain I got here. It's a Metroidvania and sometimes you just need to wander around. I went through the wormways back to Bone Bottom. I don't know why I went off course, but I did and now I'm in the Chapel of the Wanderer. By the way, there are traps everywhere in this game. I haven't even highlighted a fraction of them. Ooh, another dead body. You know what that means.
Really? Have you no respect for the dead?
The crest of the Wanderer. It provides noble, swift strikes. I don't prefer it. Let's see what's on the side quest board. I donate 300 shards to the poor. Then before taking off to finish the other task, I purchase a magnetite brooch and a 4th mask shard to gain another life. Now to hunt flint beetles. I track their traces, follow their scent, and uncover their hiding place. That thing is like a rock fire type Pokemon. Maybe a roly-coly. Jumping behind it puts me in its firework trail and it spouts coal in a mini volcano fashion. So I keep some distance and chuck the new long pins that get hurled at an arc, doing more damage and neutralizes the flint. Gem secure. 2 more of those rock insects needed to be harvested, for reasons I know not. But I got another memory locket, which is all that concerns me. As much as I hate Hunter's March, I returned to see where the drifting cloak could take me that I couldn't before. Took me to a whole lot of nothing. First, to someone wearing a camouflage suit named Gilly. I know your parents didn't name you that. A bench, or so I thought. Am I invading the Home Alone kid's house? And the Chapel of the Beast that is home to the savage beastfly. Now on the surface, there's not much to be feared. After all, this insect is just a big horsefly and does bashes that are easy to see coming. I've seen the internet complain how brutal this guy is, but I'm not in that camp. Sure, I made some first-time mistakes. Oh my gosh, he summons minions! Better exterminate the pest before, the bug guy didn't want help, I guess. So the reason for my first few losses was my greed to heal. I believed the best offense was a good defense, but it had to be done right. Apparently, the savage beastfly holds the same belief, because look at how ridiculous this run back is. By the time I get back, I am frustrated and out of patience. Then the monster takes defense to a whole nother level, spawning 2 sidekicks at once. Like, what am I supposed to do here? We playing defense? Fine. We playing defense then. Warding bell attached. Unfortunately, it does not protect in the way I imagined it would. Now it does negate additional incoming damage, but the healing is still thwarted. I had to turn my theory around. A good offense was not a good defense. 4 enemies on screen is insane. A good defense was a great offense. The key problem were the minions. So what if I slayed the beastfly before they could get 3 allies? And that's exactly what I did. I rushed it as fast as I could instead of prioritizing safety. And by this point, I had learned the patterns. Whenever a little pest came on screen, I eliminated it right away and didn't stop to breathe, going back to harassing the big boss. And you know what? It paid off. The most help they got were 2 itty-bitty flies and the other annoyances were never to be seen. This is likely the animal's descent, and what I took from it was the crest of the beast. Okay, I don't need any more crests. It does grant lifesteal after binding, so maybe... Ooh, that down air. I don't like it. You know what else I don't like? My stupidity. Apparently, I was supposed to go this way after beating Sister Splinter, but thought the only reward was a purple flower. And then while editing this, Visa said I totally skipped a valuable skill from earlier. And I said, no. I eventually found it by just wandering around. Well, you're telling me I could have had the clean grip skill earlier? Well, he didn't see the footage till after I had beaten the game. And I'd still really like a double jump, Team Cherry. I guess I'll have to get lost more to find it. Whatever. I proceed to backtrack to where I couldn't before with the wall cling, finding a pull apart and a different way into Bellheart. I appear to have entered the attic, which is crawling with bell spiders, some bigger than others. I found 2 very opposite things. A flea and a grumbling dweller that, oh, you're the one tying Bellheart up in webs.
Oh, she is here. The Reaper thing.
Precious child of worm and weaver, how fine her shell and silk and claw. For your mother, let me claim her all for you. Whoa, back the stink up. Pulling a string, freak a bell. Why is your crawling noise so creepy? How am I supposed to know what's coming? Jeez! Please don't kill me, please don't kill me! Dang, I got owned! It goes without saying that I really needed to learn Widow's attack patterns. I do not know what to do. Just when you think you've dodged something, the leftover terrain still hurts you. However, I am proud to say, just after a couple of attempts, I've got Widow's phone number. When she does an airstrike, leap over and float away. When she scurries, jump and then get ready to float away before the bell bombs make impact. You can also dash towards her when she strikes down, making it easier to know which way to float. I got this! I can't believe I was so worried! Her showmanship is definitely scarier than what she actually is. The bell drops allowed me so many clean hits. Oh no! I was a fool! How could I forget she likely had a second phase? All bosses do! Actually, this ain't bad at all. This is the same stuff. Just a few more bells and whistles. I'm doing good. Now join your lover in the afterlife. Okay, you caught me off guard. I'll give you that. Sure, you got me here and sometimes there, but I'm just a bit rattled. Fine, I'll admit it. You got me. I underestimated your stupid little scuttle that does double damage. Next time, I'll make sure to enter that part of the fight at full health. Heal up! My healing and silk vanish if I bind during the transition? That is quite literally not fair. Like this stupid scuttle? Yeah, that's my fault. I love it in video games when the mistakes are my own. But taking away my resources because I chose to do it during a phase transition just feels bad in all the wrong ways. How do I keep falling for this? Time to freaking adapt. When I see the Widow back up, I know it's going for that move I hate. There is another hint I noticed just now. Avoiding the bell chaos is intended to distract me from Widow. But after she drops the balls like a preteen boy, that's when she crawls towards me. I am sick of having to run back here from Shellwood and repeatedly go so far just to lose. I'm almost there this time. I can feel it. Watch out, Andrew! Going for the kill! Oh, and I'm not letting you explode. I'm taking your power. It's too strong for it to go to waste. Oh boy, what'd I get? The needle in. Play ancient melodies. Man, why would I want to? Oh, a vision. I can play my new instrument to open gates? I hope I wasn't just hallucinating. I've got some gates in mind to play in front of. Good news here is Bellheart has been saved. And what better way to give thanks to their hero by asking more of me with their very own side quest board.
How dare you treat me with such disrespect? I got you off the streets, and this is how you repay me?
There's gotta be someone here that isn't only thinking about themselves. And there was. The Pin Master. To show his gratitude for saving his bell home, he sharpens my blade, cleans it to perfection, and informs me that if I invade the citadel above, I can fracture oil to strengthen my needle even more. What? Am I going to the Middle East? Is that what my taxes are going to? Who knows? They got me distracted seeking out silver bells for them. What are these even for? It's not Christmas yet. Bellheart's radio station probably plays Christmas music before Thanksgiving has even happened. Back on topic, this is the last pull-up part the alien needed for their request. In return, Kit Fisto hands over a pull-up pouch that applies venom to tools. Sadly, now is not the time to hunt. Rather, I need to track down Bellheart's lost courier. How a defenseless merchant got all the way out here unscathed is beyond me. I don't speak Hallownest, but I understand you restocked the store. I stumbled upon Bellheart with wall clean going east of Shellwood, so I do the same on the west side, hoping for something new, I guess. It takes me high above Bone Bottom, and across that gap, I started hearing rushing winds and blasted steps. The floor is cursed. Where there's sand, there are sandworms. I feel like my life is at risk with every jump I take. Things get more inconvenient with statues guarding the way. Nothing a little pogo can't solve. Wish I could say the same for these flying barnacles. There is one in particular later that I hate with all my being. I still hate this one too, but not as much. Oh, Chakra, am I glad to see you.
I didn't know you had elves working here.
You're hilarious, my friend.
I'm behind on maps. Give me both of them. Would you look at that? We're almost at the end. I mean, it felt like the end. It looked like the end. The road to the top was fierce with no rest seemingly in sight. Switches had to be triggered to continue my ascent to the top. Although, I wasn't ready to end it yet. I wanted to savor the moment, but I haven't talked about how the freaking benches work in this game. Similar to a pay and sit bench with freaking spikes. For almost all the seats, you need to pay for the privilege to use them. Same goes for fast travel stations. Hot take, I think it's fair. You get what you pay for.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Near the top of blasted steps was the gate to the Citadel. Passive pilgrims informed me that 5 bells were the key to opening the door. I had already rung 4 in the Marrow, Far Fields, Raymore, and Bellheart, but it seems I always skip something in Shellwood. Well, backtracking is the story of my life. If only I could remember the way down. Ah, can I get a freaking break for once in my life? The great conch flies. At first, this seemed like yet another roadblock, but this was actually a break for me. These twins were nothing compared to the widow I just fought recently. I could see the dirt where the magic conch shells would dig out of, allowing me plenty of time to get out of their ways, and they would take a hot second to dig back into the ground, letting me get a strike or 2 at them. The most annoying thing about them were the spiral shells they'd spit out. Luckily though, my healing was on point this match and I killed one of the twins on my first attempt.
I will avenge you, brother.
Foreshadow much? Still not having found my way out of these blasted steps, I come across a home similar to the seamstresses. Wakey wakey! This is the Pinstress, founder of Pinterest, that app all of your moms are addicted to. She's also a master of the pin and offers to train me.
You have learned to bury your guilt with anger. I will teach you to confront it and to face the truth.
The Hornet learns the Needle Strike, a charge attack. I also make my way back to find the Shellwood Bell and ring it for the lands above to hear. I return to the gate playing my mystic song, along with the citizens joining me in chorus. It's the last judge. You must think you're above the law killing innocents like that. What are you doing? Acting like a JV player juking me out in the school halls. Put your toy away. You're supposed to give a level playing field. If you're gonna play like that, then here's some acupuncture treatment for my long pins, and I got a lot of them too. It's all about reach, and your ball and chain limits you compared to my daggers. Oh, you bringing the fire now? Let me guess. Your songs know what I did in the dark? Apparently not. Now, I think I could beat Judge Judy here within just a few attempts, but man, I am tired. It's like 10 or 11 o'clock at night while recording this. I just don't feel like getting riled up right now. May I have a short recess? For tonight, I scavenge, then tomorrow, I'll arrive. Hey Doc, got any plutonium? Only a crazy alchemist like you would willingly live in the wormways. Doc is always asking for crazy stuff like plasmium.
Doc, you don't just walk into a store and buy plutonium.
To which he responded, of course not, and insists I should go harvest them from the Libyan nationalist gardens. He didn't exactly have a map, but I just needed to keep an eye out for the blue vines, then voila, plasmium. I found all 3 locations relatively quickly and harvested them with the vial Doc lended. Got a memory locket too. Since I've proven myself a capable assistant, I'm giving his invention a plasmium vial. He says it's very beneficial for the body and claims it is completely safe. Injecting the liquid gives me more health than usual, but I'll get charged for refills. Don't you love getting excited to use something, then all of a sudden have no desire to use it anymore? On to the next side quest it is then, hunting down the Skull Tyrant that's been terrorizing Bone Bottom. It's a good thing I brought my hunting weapons and that this beast's movesense is as dense as its thin bones. The worst part about it was being dealt double damage per hit. Thus on my second try, I didn't play reckless, jumping when the beast charged at me and not getting close up during the rock slides because the tyrant will jump on me right after. Like my stubborn self, this guy has a thick skull and I've run out of tools before its defeat. So I resort to 2 slashes after each time it goes in for an attack. I hope the village is hungry because there's meat on the table now. Another chill thing I can do before going to bed is retracing my steps where I haven't wall jumped yet. Usually a few nobodies attack me. Then I get a prize like this memory locket. I know this skull face is for something, I just can't prove it yet. And I don't know what this crafting kit does yet. Why couldn't it have been the crafting table? What's right of the deep docks here?
Oh, who are you?
I'm Amanda. I'm 6, and I love unicorns.
What just happened? Where am I? I'm not a unicorn. I've got 2 horns. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Oh, shit.
I can't believe how I look right now. They took my Air Jordans. Something else seems to be missing. Ah, they also got my needle. Other than that, I seem fine. I've got my Street Fighter skills to kick spiders in the face with, and I've already found a way out. Ha! I really can't stay. Ah, baby, it's cold outside. I've got to go away. baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been not very nice. My mother will start to worry. My father will be pacing the floor. So really, I'd better scurry. The prisoners might think, whoa, hold up. You're that same thief I saved back in the Morrow. Hey, if we ally our efforts, our escape could be made that much easier. You're gonna leave me to rot? After all I did for you! You're gonna leave me to die? Oh no, I dropped the soap. Oh, it's actually the key of indolent. That's my ticket out of here. Now to get my weapon back. I can't unlock every door yet, so I'll have to figure my way out past the locks with the mark of indolent. Hashtag free the fleas. Around every corner seems to be a bunch of bouncers waiting to jump me. The small flies are no problem. Hiya! I was gonna talk about the others, however, there are buttons here that set off traps. I quickly learned these were better to use than my own feet. Then when I broke outside, I set off traps that were my own demise. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. Something's gotta be done with the cold. I sprinted for now and found fire. Break's over, time to go. More fire, and a ton of traps. And thank gosh, a way back in. And not just any way back in, I got the high ground above the kidnappers.
Are you mocking me?
Whoa! Jeez, Hornet, that was gruesome, but they deserved it. You know, that'd be a cool skill they should add in the DLC. Will you back off and let me go? You clearly don't stand a chance. The Amandas are deceptively strong, dealing double damage per dive, but their HP is a joke. I could do without the goo. I'm done with this place. I brute forced my way through the mob, and the last guard dropped something, the key of the heretic. Yet the question remains, will it free me of the slab? Nope, not yet. I gotta open more doors while constantly being chased by the most unsanitary beings. How long does it take a freaking door to open? Come on! And still no way out. Well, technically I found a way out, but I'm still caged in. Got my first half of a spool fragment though. Could it be? Yes! Am I glad to see you, Steven? What a way to end the night. Waking up the next morning, I noticed the jail cell I broke that orange guy out of has been remodeled by a ladybug named Lottie.
Primpolo Casato.
I like his accent. Lottie bet some rosaries that I couldn't hit 15 targets with my straight pins. Boy, was he wrong, but this was only the first test in easy mode in my eyes. He expands my tool pouch for winning round 1, then says if I can hit 25 targets, I'll get a nice monetary reward. Is this an infinite money glitch?
Hell.
It should have been. 3 misses and I'll lose the 25 bucks I bet. I was impatient though, and was trying to speed the process up to get on with my day. 18! Okay, now I'm getting worse. 75 of my own beads down the drain. Then the Hornet remembers.
Oh, wait a second. I forgot I'm left-handed.
A heavy rosary necklace worth 220 rosaries. A girl can get used to this. I was tempted to stay back and exploit a potential infinite money glitch, but I yearned to find out what's next. In the deep docks, I sliced through a gauntlet for a mask shard, and then I played my needle in front of a gate that lay east of the seamstress's house. Inside were the silk speed anklets that increase sprint speed. No thanks. I already fall plenty because of my current speed. Instead of extreme sports, I give back to the community by aiding the innkeeper with building a scarecrow? Dude, just call it a scarecrow. It'll provide a permanent solution to the crows atop his roof. Yes, I'm not calling them craws. And they drop rag pelts now needed for the scarecrow. Getting sidetracked, I bounce up high above the halfway house, leading me to a place called Sinner's Road. I don't see any wrongdoers here aside from vicious crocodiles trying to eat me. They're everywhere. I can't chill even for a moment. Maybe if I get up high, oh, they're here too. Encaged? I'm not taking my chances on it containing them. I'm staying high and getting out of here. From scum of the earth to royalty, I meet a green prince who has been locked away, but requests I leave them be. As you wish, prisoner. I'm gonna totally break him out. By the way, this place is spiked out. The bad guys chuck spikes, the walls have spikes, the whatever these are have spikes, and it's my only way up. I get double teamed what feels like non-stop, but I always best these lackeys once I figure them out. Oh good, a bench and chakra. What a sight for sore eyes. I'll gladly pay for this save point. Excuse me? How is it broken? And I don't see any 1-800 number to get a refund. Well, more spiky spikes, more pogoing and wall jumping up somewhere else. Ooh, that's a big fella. I better stay away until I find a healing point. I'm poisoned. I have leeches? What happened to me? My silk, it's corroding. I must replenish it. Come here, Little John. Ooh. Ah! This is not going as planned. I gotta get back to safety or die due to being rattled. I darted back up that horrendous part of Sinner's Road because my pride could not take a loss like that. With my straight pins poisoned and not diving into battle recklessly, I struck down the fiend. Going further east though revealed to me that the bug crocs and big guys are all over the place. Nevertheless, I persevered past all the spikes with precise wall jumping, but screeched to a halt right before entering the next top room. I had a feeling it was boss territory, and I needed to find a checkpoint first to not lose my mind. So I checked every unmarked corner, fended off those atrocious territorial swamp creatures wherever I went, and then sat on a bench. Please don't kill me. Styx the Badger? Is this what you would have looked like in Sonic Prime? Whoever it is, they are grateful I saved them from the crocodile things. Yeah, I was totally saving you, not myself. Then Styx proclaims to be my slave and will work on something while I'm gone. Just keep that bench intact while I'm gone, Styx. I've got a boss to confront. It's just you? Well, now I have nothing to be scared of. A graceful jump, then dash away to then immediately dash back in gets the kill. Turns out he was just carrying a simple key. On my way back to go against somebody's wishes, I kept veering off the beaten path, specifically in the top right corner of a room that housed a hut. Home to cruel and vengeance who fear I will end their lives.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
The poor preschoolers are hungry and ask me to retrieve food for them, specifically the guts of muck roaches. They're called muck roaches. At first, the task seemed daunting. These creatures won't stop until I'm their next meal. But with some practice, I learned dashing in as they backed up, getting ready to spring was the best way to inflict damage. I should have charged more for filleting the roaches. While delivering, I picked up a barbed bracelet that doubles damage taken and dealt, and freed the green prince from his cage.
Why did you save me?
For the guts, I got tax in return. I don't know why I never used them. And I got my crafting kit expanded for the rag pelts. I never explained, but the pouch and crafting stuff increases ammo and damage. Where to next? Your guess is as good as mine. I fixed the wind infrastructure in Greymore, taking me to the tippy top of this centralized tower, full of cobwebs in the penthouse, if you can even call it that. I harvest a silk eater that I'll show off later, and keep going room to room in this tower, saving a widow fee in the process. On the borderline above Bellheart, can you believe there are bells? But what is a bell home doing out here? Knock knock, it's the J-Dubs. Who's bothering me now? Leave the great Yarnaby in peace. Let me try this again. Girl Scout cookies? Still? Nothing? How can you say no to Girl Scout cookies? I'm gonna get my foot in the door. There's gotta be, ooh, what are you hiding up here, buddy? Cloth and incendiary materials that could be fashioned into an explosive weapon. Construct a tool? Could it be this?
This is a crafting table.
Crafted Pimpillo bombs. Okay, I've had my fun. It's time to splurge my money on a multi-binder that heals 4 masks rather than 3. I explored the rest of Bellheart's alleyways, running into a hermit that called me a slave, found the rest of the silver bells below and above town. Random bell spawn points were annoying, by the way. Got even more money for doing so. Spent it on a spool fragment, restoring together one that increased how much silk I can hold at once. Checked out the scarecrow, expanded notches on the Reaper crest, and decided it was Judgment Day. Now, I know I said I was never going to drink the flea brew, but I just wanted a taste, and yeah, it's definitely not worth the price. Sure, my attack and movement speed go up a level. It's just, it doesn't last long. What was that, 10 seconds? What a joke. So say goodbye to this attempt. Fortunately, we've already gone over the first part of the last judge. All it takes is some Silksong common sense to get past. Then there's the second part, and oh, did I misjudge how hard this was gonna be for me. The fire rings are fine, it's the other moves that I underestimate. I can't just jump and pogo freely like I always have. The hitboxes must be respected. It's all preventable, but the previous phase trained me into thinking I would be alright at certain moments. Distance is no longer a get out of jail free card, and focusing too much on ranged attacks left me a sitting duck. 2 tries later, and I knew what was coming, but I'm still not at the difficult part. This was all the ruse for what the judge was about to rule next. Presenting the verdict. The rings of fire, thank heavens, are still easy to strafe during. I was doing all right considering this is the first time I'd seen the boss like this. Then it happened. I began to choke, making stupid decisions. Surely this was only a 1, maybe 2-time thing during my bouts with the last judge. However, my momentum was shattered. I have no idea why, but after losing to the judge during the 3rd phase just once, I could not for the life of me get past the 2nd phase. It's a funk that happens sometimes when playing video games. You're on a roll, then all of a sudden it takes only one trigger to cause you to absolutely fall apart and lose shortly later because of the dumbest mistakes. And oh, I haven't even mentioned the run back. Initially, running this course back to the boss was tedious. Then over time, I knew the route like the back of my hand. I absolutely hated these conch flies though. That one I could skip easily with a sprint then a skip. But the other ones in this part of Blasted Steps would never fail at chipping 1 to 2 of my masks before getting back to the Citadel gate. I wanted to spend more time on how much I hated them, but I want to get this fight over with. I think I'm getting close to reaching double digits in regards to attempts. I had identified my weakness, and I planned to execute it. Do not lose momentum in phase 2. At this point, I'm talking to myself. Andrew, I don't know what's going on with you right now, but if you let Judge Judy smack you once, it's game over. Take care of your... Oh, no, it's a myth. Regain your composure. It's not over yet. So what's the new plan? Because I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. Well, with the multi-binder, I could heal 4 masks at once, but I decided against that and healed whenever I was harmed. I'd quickly regain my silk, thanks to the Reaper crest. Then it happened. It clicked. I was playing safe, only jabbing in between attacks. Sure, it made the process slow, but I wasn't dying. I had my groove back, although I knew it could go away in an instant in phase 3. Thus, I resorted to only projectiles in the last phase. I stayed away as far as I could as I sniped the judge like a political assassin. There was nothing she could do. What are you chanting? What are you chanting? What are you chanting? I lived, bitch. The gate, it's finally open. I made it. The lights, organ pipes. Yup, this is the Citadel. Act 2, Citadel of Song. The last judge's explosion left me in a weakened state. There was nowhere to heal. I had no money to purchase a map. I could only bind and hope this elevator took me where I needed to go next. Looking back at this moment, I don't know why I insisted on manually operating this elevator. Oh, never mind. I did get it working. Is every act going to start with me falling? Oh yes, a bench vending machine. Wow, 15 bucks too? That's cheap. What's that sound? No. That cannot be legal. You have to pay every time? This is really Act 2, huh? Every enemy here in the Underworks looks like they belong in the Underworks. More specifically, they appear to be devolved but more dangerous forms of their counterparts back down below. At least this rundown place has their map hanging around for free. There's only so much a map can describe though. The only operating business in the Underworks appears to be waste management. Why is it that abandoned areas are always put in charge of cubing the garbage? And what energy source is powering them? Shouldn't these Razor cubes have run out of batteries by now? So there is someone working behind the scenes. It's the Underworks version of the big fella. The cleaners give their all to stop me from taking over whatever this place actually is. You guys don't get paid enough to put your lives on the line. A bench sign. Wait a minute. I don't trust those machines. This gizmo over here, though, may have something to offer. A speaker reciting a wall of text. I can't trust anyone or anything here. That's not completely true. There is still a big benefit to those pay-to-sit luxuries. After losing, the Hornet is warped back to the last bench used, even if it was a paid one. It still reverts back, but hey, it's good to count your blessings, and to get a closer save point. I also figured out most of the Underworkers could easily be cheesed with down airs. Breaking my way through, I finally found solace in Act 2. And by solace, I mean a free place to sit. I had already arrived at a new sector called the Coral Chambers. Different atmosphere for, oh, not that laughter. It's not a good time, Harley Quinn. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's fight already. Did I win? More screaming? What's it mean, though? The mysterious Silk has resurrected more of the dead, more classier folks than the poor versions. And their arrivals are perfect timing. I needed cash due to losing a whole cocoon in the Underworks. Once I had enough, I had no interest for conflict until I was able to find a map dispenser. I wonder why Chakra hasn't followed me up here. Well, looks like I gotta go up. And while I do, I'd be remiss if we didn't take a moment to appreciate this music. It gives the chills for a grand, majestic venture we still have ahead. No matter how hard I try, words cannot describe my feelings when listening to it. Life is precious. Cherish it, everyone. As beautiful as that was, I must get my hands dirty by crawling through the inner machinations of the chambers. The steam is piping hot. The gears satisfyingly work in unison. Little beetles have been given a new life. Pogoing continues to be a broken attack, and not even the blessed versions of the mind control can comprehend it. And then it all comes to a halt. Why was the music stopped? Where does this bridge lead to? How come these followers aren't given a second life? Or have they already lost it? Wait, this place feels cold and familiar. Ah, it's the jail! Bye, Felicia. Going back down, looking for some progress to progress my ascension, I internally debate if I should risk 80 rosaries for what could be just a necklace maker. I got the money, so might as well. A glass elevator? I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Does it go up, down, sideways, slantways, longways, backways, and frontways? Great, now I don't know where I am. Correction, I'm way up high. Well, there's nothing to do here, so I went back down. Took a shower, healed in the hot tub, tried out a gacha machine with a symbol of silk engraved on it, deposited 40 beads, and all I got was silk. I'm an idiot. I mean, I know it said silk right on it, but come on. A lot of these dispensers have been ripoffs. What if they opened a secret passageway? Danged if you do, danged if you don't. Going from room to room to just find anything new, or maybe a clue on how to press forward, I encountered a repeat after me style bell game. Simple enough and a peculiar change of pace. For doing so, I received a cog heart piece. Well, would you look who it is? How many times am I going to save this street rat? You owe me. Now give me something. Back the stink up. Why I keep saving that imbecile is beyond me. Maybe I just naturally attract nuisances. Like this guy too. This floater is by far my least favorite stooge of the coral chambers. Did you see that? So infuriating. And the locks too. Nobody likes you. Having covered the west side of the chambers, I advance east, right into a boss? No, they're just big, scary, deal double damage, and have a wide variety of moves. Wait, that all sure sounds like a boss. Thinking about it, I really shouldn't be surprised since I'm near the top of the citadel. I'll just take down the giant with projectiles and move on. Oh, jeez, another one! Run away! He's gaining on us! Quick, we'll have to go under. Don't know if there is a way underneath, but hey, I'm alive. I like being alive. I'll keep going down and right until I find something interesting. In this dining room, an old man pops out of nowhere. I inquire of his oil and ask if I can take it. To which he responds, everything here belongs to his master, and he'll only trade the oil in exchange for ingredients. Do I look like an Instacart employee to you? It's time to execute plan B. Jump! Dash forward! Dash forward! Aha! Yes! I made it past them alive! Now where am I? Oh, this must be the boss. Two bosses? And are they being wound up to fight? They're called the Cogwork Dancers, and they dance really slow, and they signal to me in which direction they'll waltz. I can't tell whether to be grateful for the drop in difficulty or to feel insulted by their mockery. Oh, cute, that's a new dance. Dodged. Oh, look, they're going to dance together in the middle. Ah, freak. Lesson learned, don't be a third wheel. Hey, would either of you happen to have a friend that's available? The dating life was terrible back in Hallownest. What's going on now? Y'all get turned up to an 11? Let me see it. Oh, we're now speed walking. Still not running. You know, even when I screw up or go off beat, you give me all the time in the world to recuperate. For the people, let's skip to the third phase. Off you go. Back to your chambers to have your winders wound. Hit me with your best shot. Don't just stand there. Dance. Ah, yes. Yes! Beautiful! You're now dancing like different parts of a choir singing in rounds, sliding one after another, beat after beat. However, I will admit defeat once because these cogheads really conditioned me to their easy play before. Getting back to the third act of the dance, I will recite this poem of two lovers created by ChatGPT. They are robots after all. The last waltz of the cog heart. In a hall of steel and silent chimes, two lovers turned through endless times. Their bodies forged of gears and flame. Each step they took whispered a name. They danced through rust. They danced through night. A spiral burn of cog and light. No clock could halt. No chain could bind. The rhythm etched within their mind. But fate is cruel to hearts of steel. A blade arrived, cold, sharp, unreal. A swordsman carved the song in two. The male collapsed, his gears askew. She cradled sparks that bled for him. Her frame grew weak, her vision dim. Yet still she spun, her feet obeyed. The dance they swore would never fade. The swordsman's strikes cut deep, cut slow. Her cogs cried out in final woe. But grief became her guiding song. Each turn declared their love still strong. And so she fell beside her mate. Their rusted hands clasped tight in fate. Two dancers stilled, yet never apart. The music lingers in every heart. Don't look at me with those sad faces. I had to slay them for the story. Who am I fooling? Oh, Citadel, what must I do to obtain your approval? The first tone asks for a song of the architects. The second wants the voice of the keepers. And the third desires the melody of the conductors. They mark the locations they can be found on my map. And then I totally ignore them going out to this hall. I still want to know what's on the other side of all this. No. All right, where were we?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Can I sit? Is there a place to sit? I need to sit down. An elevator. Close enough. No, it's not. It only takes me to places I've already been. I swear, if I see one more of those violin bow-wielding giants, I'm going to lose it. A white key? Better not be to the giants' room. And this better not be a home to the giants. Giant bell tied in cobwebs? Oh, giants who can hear my cry, do not mistake this bell ringing to come home for dinner. There was one who was disgruntled by my bell ringing. And that was this homeless person. The caretaker? Dude, you gotta take care of yourself before others, man. The hobo lectures me on what a grave misdeed I've done ringing the shrine's bell. The wretched lost pilgrims will come here and settle. Yeah, I'll get off your lawn. Underneath the bridge of the behemoths, I hear the loud voice of possibly another titan. I'm just gonna stay positive and say I'm grateful to be in a new part of the coral chambers. I'm still going to cautiously float down though. Aside from a few annoyances such as these thieves stealing my beads, I was super relieved to see Steven for a fast travel location and an elevator to navigate the Citadel better. With it, I zoomed back to the Grand Gate to purchase the map, having money now, climbed up the judgment scales in the same room to reach a spool fragment, then I begrudgingly scoured the underworks where I stumbled upon a coal operation, booted up yet another elevator, battled a gauntlet of minions, the last of which killed himself by accident for not reading the weight limit of the floor. Thanks for the free spool, fatty. I dangerously played trash compactor hopscotch for a delver's drill, then instead of drilling down, I springed back up the chambers to insert the white key and rode the elevator down to a place called the White Ward. Rolly chairs, a dead guy, and locked rooms. Yep, we're in the medical department. Are some patients still alive here? It's probably just my imagination. Floating zombie! No, it's a Dementor. Is this Azkaban? Why are there so many gurneys shoved in this corner? And Chakra, I miss you. Please be my map maker again. The terrors just keep on coming. I should be screaming in fear as I run away from this scissor-whacking worm. That surprise, surprise deals double damage. Haha, I'm gonna die. Projectile spam to the rescue. At least I can hop over them, unlike the guardians on the top floor. Anyways, I steal a medical tool called an injector band that increases the speed of healing. Now that is going to become a staple of my kit. Why am I going down into an oven? This is probably why we aren't seeing more dead bodies in this ward. Morbid, but it is what it— nuts. Well, I'm not confident I'm going to make it to that point without dying again, so I rip open one of my silk eaters, which retrieves my belongings, including over 500 beads. That's why I saved them for the mid to late game. Didn't I beat this guy already? Could be the first, second, or third chorus. But one small win is I made it to the other side of the coal operation and new rooms. The robo-bugs are diehards here, blowing themselves up that I'm very surprised the flea trapped in here was still alive. The platforming was treacherous. Watching your step needs to be taken literally around this heat. I was often on the brink of death with the close calls I was experiencing.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Is my life worth risking for some stupid craft medal? Does Hornet even need to be here? Why doesn't she go back home? Oh yeah, she'll just get kidnapped again. Okay, what's my new skill? Claw line. Like a harpoon? Yes! Yes! The rings do have a use! Well, time to re-explore everywhere I've been. Before leaving the mechanical world, though, I run into an architect who will only sell me their key if I acquire 7 more tools. So I start buying stuff. Only 2 for now due to lack of funds. And I don't see much use for them. The scuttle brace is just a dash backwards, and the sawtooth circlet attacks when I float. It's all about the harpoon right now. I traversed the underworks for a spool piece, and I then got distracted at that shrine with the bell called Songclave now. Just like the caretaker said would happen, pilgrims began to gather here. It's honestly a miracle they made it up here alive. You know, with all the danger and the— What do you want? Oh, more side quests. What a delight. I suppose paid clergy is a thing around these parts. Speaking of side quests, I turn in my hunter's journal filled with 100 monster entries. What's my reward?
Don't rush me, Katie. I'm just not ready.
Normalize leaving after a kiss like that. Times are rough at my old stomping grounds. Is Bone Bottom beyond saving? What the heck? You again? I feel like nothing's changed about the Skull Tyrant, so thankfully this was an easy problem to get rid of for the village. Come at me, bro! Take the bait and die! Sorry about the bench flick.
I can fix that.
Good. I'll track down the savage beastfly then to ensure no more harm comes upon Bone Bottom. So we meet again, Mr. Beastfly, for the last time. My hubris was at an all-time high when beginning this rematch. I had clearly forgotten how much of a struggle bus this gigantic insect was the first time I faced it. Time had passed and come on, look at this thing. It looks like a boss designed for the first level of a game. Even though I suffered an early loss due to the fly smashing away the lava pads, leaving me a sitting duck, I wasn't sweating. Surely all I had to do was adapt to the new landscape, and even if I get caught in the mix from time to time, I'll outlive the big cockroach. Stay down when it flies overhead, then jump over when it comes at me and I'll be home by supper. That's right, call for your mama. Oh, I just remembered why Savage was so brutal. Get out of my sight! Ah, it's just me and you again. Prepare to suffer. Oh, how naive I was that I thought taking out one minion would solve all my problems. Don't you remember, Andrew? They come back. They always come back. I was tunnel visioned on killing the cretins, but that hatred led to my downfall. I wasn't watching my back. My confidence dropped like a rock. When 2 minions came on screen, I immediately became hopeless. Scratch that. When 1 minion came on screen, I immediately became hopeless. These goons are way more mobile, have more life, and are stronger than the previous iteration's lackeys. What was I supposed to do? They would deplete my health in a matter of seconds, and right as I'd kill one, another would take its place. Something clearly needed to change. If I couldn't beat this boss, then how am I going to beat the game? I cannot win a 3v1 fight. That's it. That's how I won the last time. I brought down the beast before he called in the cavalry. Thus, I equipped the barbed bracelet. With this accessory, I am twice as strong, but I'll be losing 4 masks every time I'm hit, essentially having only 2 lives. Now, I know I just said I was going to take down the beastfly first before the minions, but that's impossible. However, it does cut down how long it takes to get rid of the skeletal flies, and in addition to that, I relied on my long-range needles more too. But the main problem was solved. 3 strikes and the minions' lives would end before the beastfly's battle cry was even over. Plus, by this point, since I had spent so freaking long rebattling this guy, I was near untouchable when it was 1v1. A third wave came in. I was at full health and feeling hot. Then I slipped up, but I could feel the end was near. No healing, just throw darts at the guy. No! Did I really just choke that? Woo! I am one lucky son of a gun. The kill counted. Never before has a mask shard felt so deserving. Now to Greymore to find somebody's brother. What the flip? Boss fights just appear out of nowhere now? This better not become a regular thing. On the other hand, I have nothing to worry about. This Moorwing is way easier than the other guy I just fought. This bird, bug, or whatever it is, does a classic swoop down that I can jump over and pogo attack with ease. Kicks out saw blades that you either need to jump, duck, or run away from, depending on how they are flung, and it does a flurry kick. That's a total of 3 different attacks it has. That's all I had to memorize and learn in the moment. Now to be transparent, I did lose my first try due to the initial shock of this guy just interrupting my rescue mission, but everything you're seeing right now is my second try. They did start kicking out 2 saw blades at once later during our bout, but I was never flustered, and overall it was a quick and easy W. Anywho, tracking the lost person from Greymore to Sinner's Road, it's the courier's brother. Saving him gets me a part-time job to deliver for the couriers. The catch is, you cannot fast travel with a package, or else it breaks. The goods can also be damaged beyond repair if I get damaged as well. The first couple deliveries were straightforward and painless to Bone Bottom and a place called Pilgrim's Rest in the far field. The latter put a sour taste in my mouth, having to pay to enter each time, even though they're the ones who ordered the item. The pay is decent though. However, one package stood above the rest. The courier's rasher. See where I am? I have to take this all the way to that old guy in the Citadel, and it is in no way a straight shot there. I have to sprint past Shellwood, safely past the fishermen, pogo past up maniacs with hazards all over the terrain, traverse through blasted steps. Wait, blasted steps? I'm gonna be real with you all. I mentally gave up once I reached to this point. Not only do I have to endure these areas, this specific package deteriorates over time. I'm on a time limit, and that's not even mentioning if I get hit, I lose time as well. So I pretty much have to do this hitless. I'm going to put that off for as long as I can. That delivery could very well be the real final boss. I consider myself more of a tracker than a FedEx employee. Traveling merchant named Jubilana was lost in the coral chambers, but now is found. town and sells goods in Songclave. I then make my rounds checking in on the fleas, who have caravanned to the Grand Gate and gave me a spool fragment, donated to Belhart, hunted pins with the great Garmund and his trusty steed Zaza, and greeted Songclave's precious newcomer, the Sherma lady who sings to open gates. How have you been? I've been wondering, how are people like you making the trek up here? Will you shut up? Jubilana, give me that key in a scented script. I'm out of here. Noticing an opening in the ceiling at the upper left part of the Citadel, I scale up the tower with my needle and reach a section called the High Halls. This place was unique as it didn't have the typical halls that were dotted throughout the Citadel. It required a lot of threading the needle to then jump to the next platform and had its own set of enemies. I think this dude is a conductor because he only signaled cog flies to attack and never himself. Then there were these flyers that enjoyed swirling their noggins at me. And a lot of needling. A lot of it. From harpooning rings and walls to waiting while the rings take me up to my next destination. After all that climbing, I had to float down a very spiky corridor to the other side of the high halls. There I constructed a familiar tool to that of a recent enemy being cogflies, and uncovered secret passageways into sewers that led me to an elevator and this zone's map. My next trial was right around the corner. The Holy Infantry? I release you from assignment. 2 more? How about no more? Seems pretty standard so far. Is that the sorting hat from Harry Potter? Must be a Slytherin exclusive because it's draining my silk and transforms it into a spear. You can call me the Hornet who lived. Alright, let's wrap this up. It's clear this gauntlet is nothing special aside from a couple newly added foes. But what I didn't know was that this gauntlet was going to be the toughest yet. This nameless boss, who I'll call Nameless, stabs the ground with their specter to send out round blasts, performs leap strikes, charged leap strikes that cause an explosion afterward, and I believe that's it. As it goes with every boss, I almost always lose my first time due to not being used to the patterns and experimenting when it's best to go in for a slice. So no sour grapes yet, and none either the second time I confront the Nameless. This has got to be one of the easiest movesets to learn how to get around. You simply wait for their attack to end, then slice. Wait for their attack to end, then slice. Wait for their attack to end, then slice. A job well done. Or? That's odd. I'm sure it'll just be a couple more waves. Even so, I had to not be so casual about it and play more carefully. And I did whilst dismantling the forces. Hold up, 2 rumblings of dirt? Mother flipper! 2 Nameless? So technically they're not even real bosses. Just heavy-hitting goons. No matter, I'll take them out one at a time. I already know their methods. That statement may have been true, but 2 of the same thing is just too much sometimes. What's frustrating though is I can't immediately do this fight over. I have to wrestle through 4 waves of nobodies, take down a huge Nameless, make it past another 4 waves alive, and only then could I rematch the twins. There's nothing special about this last battle. It's just learning the patterns, getting used to it, and practice. I think the devs knew the 2 Nameless would get beaten too easily if you could re-enter right back into the fight with them, which is why they put 6.5 minutes of padding to throw you off rhythm. Add more time to that if you lose before even seeing them. So yeah, I've got no wise words or strategy to share. I spent nearly an hour attempting this over and over again. It's a classic example of practice makes perfect, and actually I lied. The Hornet does have some wise words to share. I don't need to explain the rest. It's done. Proving my resilience, opened a room to the left that held the conductor, Balador. The fellow sounds sick, but seems to be on the good side, being willing to teach me the conductor's melody. 2 down, 1 to go. Outside that bloodbath of an arena, I unlock a mysterious door with a simple key to at first find disappointment with a rosary maker, chest full of rosaries, and I'm glad I kept looking around because I would have been pissed if I bought a key for just those. I found a rosary cannon. Unfortunately, my excitement faded quickly when I read it used beads as ammo. Money is scarce. I can't be wasting it. It's healthy to be content with what you have. I say that while opening the door to my brand new home in Belhart that was gifted to me by the citizens for helping them. Plus, I can remodel my house with the new services added in the shop. The HGTV network will have to wait. More requests must be attended to, such as gathering cloaks and tracking Sherma who have wandered off to the White Ward. Sherma? What in the world do you possibly seek to achieve in a place like this? Healing supplies? Okay, I guess you're a good person. Hold your gratitude, little one. The dead are stirring. Stay back, Sherma. I've got this. Nothing my pins can't handle. Oh, this just got a lot worse. Do I hear a second one? Ah, I did! I've only technically killed one of these worms before, and I wasn't exactly stellar at it. In this tight space, all I could think to do was hop over their swinging scissors. Easier said than done. I preferred wall jumping over here than giving the creepy crawler pressure when only one came back. The other was a breeze to dismantle alone. More alien-like patients arose, but they were a piece of cake. Thanks for the spool piece, Sherma. Now please go back. In between enjoying doing deliveries for cash, I crossed a bridge in an eastern part of Greymore, then proceeded to do a lot of bouncing and crow fighting until I reached a spool at the top. Clocking back in from my break, I delivered a queen's egg to my slave Styx, which he uses to expand our nest. Now he can make 2 silk eaters at a time. That's what he's been working on. Such a thoughtful slave. Transporting more supplies to Pilgrim's Rest, I expand my tool pouch while I'm there, then somehow get Songclave's order safely to them. Actually getting through the blasted steps ain't so bad when you've got no timed pressure, as long as the package is intact. Also here, take a donation. More pilgrims have been coming. Having quit FedEx due to the long hours and low pay, I resorted to a much more efficient way of grinding. The Giants. I hated them before, but now I love them. All you gotta do is dash in between their attacks. It's easy money, about 30 a pop. I grinded till I had 2,000 beads to buy out all of Jubilana's stock, give my house a fresh coat of blue paint, installed a desk and some lights, and my next project will be a personal spa. After more grinding, I widened my crafting kit. Then did some dreaded backtracking now that I know I can tap dance across coals. I appreciate all the small upgrades I've been finding, but backtracking gets old really quick in my eyes. What am I waiting for? I don't know, something amazing, I guess. Great job, Andrew. I think the only way out is down. I've done plenty of cave diving this playthrough, so there's nothing to worry about. Mayday! Mayday! Can anyone hear me? I'm somehow still alive. Deploy cogflies. Bogeys incoming. Attack! Targets 1 and 2 down. 3rd enemy detected. You all know what to do. Keep your wits about you. More are coming. Way to go, boys. The volcano is erupting. Let's get out of here. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. Ah, I choked. One more slip and I'm a goner. Wall jump. Dash. Why do these pests want to kill me? Don't they care for their own lives? Focus on the task at hand. Don't forget to float. Sprint! Faster! Faster! Go! 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 Where do I go? Where do I? Oh, come on and take the free ride. All that for a mask shard. I can't wait to see those cogflies in battle. They were so, huh? Chakra? What are you doing up there? Is that why you haven't been selling maps upstairs? For my next trick, I'll gracefully time this jump, lunge my needle, and ta-da! Gate, gate, gate. Second nicest gate I've met. Chop, chop, Hornet. Find the new skill. Sharp dart. It's like a dash attack. I like it. Sadly, looking back, I never used it. I am all over the place. Ordering mossberry stew for the old man, breaking walls to fix that bench I paid for a while back, and discovered yet another breakable wall next to that big fella at Sinner's Road. And on the other side of it was an area called the Mist. I've got a feeling I should float down into the fog. All it did was start me over in between Sinner's Road and the Mist. Or am I tripping? This is different. I dart back and forth, out and back in the entrance, and yup, the area changes each time. In classic Metroidvania fashion, I wasn't sure where to go and just wandered wherever I felt like, oh jeez! Who are you, Homer Simpson?
I'll teach you to laugh at something that's funny!
Nah. I've got a plan. Run, Hornet, run! What? What'd you expect me to do? I have no idea what I'm doing or where I am going. I must be going in circles. I think to break the loop, I'll go consistently in one direction. Not to the boy band. I'm going straight up to who knows where. Regrettably, I think I'm just wasting my time. Nothing is happening. And if I'm making any progress, it all just went down the drain getting killed here. How am I going to find my cocoon full of money? Thank gosh, it's right at the beginning. Convinced wandering has been futile, I yank out my instrument in an attempt to wake up this dead guy. It didn't work. I'll try plan B in a multitude of rooms while I come up with a plan C. Think. Did I scare the moths? Am I really that bad at the needling? Maybe it was coincidence. So I'll try performing in front of another group. Oh, they are totally reacting to the music. I follow them, but then they disappear. So I search for a new flock, play for them, watch where they go, and follow. I still haven't come up with a plan C. Thus, I continued trailing the butterflies while being hunted down by the Homerettes. Ladies, please, one at a time. I can't strum strings for the butterflies while you're both on my back. Okay, seriously, what am I? The Bachelorette? I had no choice but to run at times and start over. The puppy guarding was pretty scummy too, but sometimes I was able to rush past a few Homerettes bullets and get far enough to lose them. Then at other times I would die to booby traps. I was starting to think the butterflies were nothing more than a visual gimmick, and I kept losing my streak whenever I decided to run in a random direction in order to save my own skin. Yet I couldn't come up with anything else to try. Eventually, I was able to roll a lucky enough run to follow the moths a number of times into a hall that I've not seen before. Could I be getting close? I kept going and going for only 2 more rooms and evaded the enemies while doing so. Then finally, I made it past the mist. Am I at Sinner's Road? It's still a mystery. Inside the strange building was the interior of an exhaust organ. An early bench. This place rocks. Only Hollow Knight Silksongs get really excited when they see a free bench. Past the pipe stream and breaking down the debris, I followed the sound of classic opera music leading to none other than the Phantom of the Opera. You wield a needle. Finally, a fair fight. She shares a few of my moves, including the harpoon throw, and has a few tricks up her sleeve. Her jabs nudge her forward as she attacks, which I got punished for not respecting. And running against the walls couldn't save me from long-distance lunges. You won fair and square, fellow Knight of the Opera. Let's begin round 2. I'ma be real with you now. Your sword techniques are booty cheeks. Slice. Could you go any slower? I want somewhat of a challenge. Slice. I'll give you a freebie. Now die. Oh, she has a Fire Emblem counter? You joining Smash Bros with that down B? Okay, I know I'm spouting some friendly banter, but I really like the Phantom. It feels like I'm fighting against the Hornet because of their simplistic moveset and sharp agility. Aside from Lace, I'm sword fighting for once. The Phantom's attacks, though, are a lot more grounded and raw, yet I can't just be swinging around willy-nilly. You may think the Pogo is completely safe and void of consequences, but then she'll throw you off and take to the air. Of course, the Phantom has got to show off why she is called the Phantom during her next phase. Unfortunately for her, it gives her no upper hand in this sparring match. Ooh, did I speak too soon? She's picking up the pace. Is she gonna stop? Deploy cockflies! Little did I know my comrades would be the reason for my downfall, triggering the Phantom's down B counter. Third tries the charm. Well, the actual charm was not bringing my buddies, but the point is I bested her. Harry! Did I really have to kill her? She was awesome. Most fun boss thus far, and a crafty one leaving behind the cross-stitch skill, aka the counter. Silksong is coming to Super Smash Brothers. The exhaust organ connected up to the coral chambers and netted me a memory locket. Well, that didn't move the story forward. More being lost happened, and then all of a sudden I realized I never checked out beneath where the cog dancers were. In a side room near that entrance was a map to Cogwork Core. As the name implies, it's where the cogs are working. Every enemy here is a bionic creature, only filled with evil silk and spare parts for guts. Funny enough, I shoved many of them into cogs, shredding them into pieces. Taste riches, you bots! In the western department, a mini trial began, and this is how it went. Easy picking. Oh, do you all hate being shoved off? Do you view it as harassment? Tell human resources. I want this place to myself. Aesthetically, it's probably my favorite area to just look at and take it all in. The music also provides a soothing touch amidst the busyness and chaotic newbies I've been running into. The Cogworks version of the big fella bounces around like a bouncy ball while also popping out little orbs with raging cleavers. Not panicking does wonders in this factory, and I'm lucky I was patient during it, because these needle jumps required a lot of precision, focus, and didn't allow for any mistakes. One slip up and I had to do it over. Thankfully, I only failed a few times, and genuinely enjoyed this segment since it was totally fair. Maybe I felt that way because it was linear and I didn't get lost. Anyhow, the east side brought me up past the Cog Dancers Ballroom, but we'll ascend that later. Gotta make sure I didn't miss anything below. I continued surveying the right side of the Cogwork core to find a lever that, when activated, twisted a familiar sphere I'd seen before. That sound. Am I under the bridge of the behemoths? I've disturbed the mysterious voice. I'm not ready for a boss. Especially one that's got a posse to defeat before taking them on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now come out and face me, you coward. Oh, you're not nearly as frightening as I thought you'd be. Is that all you do? Oh, cute, you can jump. And you only deal 1 damage at a time, so I'll pogo away. Wow, was that it? Apparently so, because now I'm in the Whispering Vaults. Well, I meant to finish the cogwork core first, so back to the top of here. Hornet, I feel like you're just here for the zipline, and for your love of shoving up hotheads. That's one way of telling them to chill. Really, this is all just a beginner's course? Maybe intermediary? For a climb later that made me want to rip my hair out. I never was discouraged by this section. Plus the platforming was precise, tight, and freak, I didn't know how to long jump that. Nothing a simple redo or two can't do with some pogoing to hop across the gears. I've now reached a new peak for how high I've gotten. At the top of all that hula jumping are these musical towers that need the notes lined up. At first, I was distraught because I thought I didn't note take a music sheet or something. But no, I just had to match the lines together. I pulled out my instrument to learn the next piece. In the background, the still choirs sang. The crowd grew and grew. Their voices wanted to be heard and taught me the architect's melody. 2 down, 1 to go. That was nice of the game not to make me fight a boss for that melody. Any boo, down to the Whispering Vaults where new faces showed themselves right away. Oh, Chakra, are you dead? Meanwhile, there's idiots still alive wasting light bulbs. Lucky for them, the sun lets in enough light. While visiting this area, new collectibles appeared called Psalm cylinders. The first one I grabbed was in the same room as a worm muttering to itself. The creepy crawler didn't show themselves, thus I moved on. The Whispering Vaults proved to have the most peculiar way of getting around and reaching new parts of its venue. It's what you're seeing now, smacking and or sliding a box along its rails. Reviewing my footage, it may not have been required for beating the game, but it sure was needed to find valuables necessary for 100%ing my save file, or just to make the game easier, because yeah baby, I got some more oil. Pinmaster, ready my sword. Hola. Thank you, kind sir. Now where was I? I seem to have let loose members of the choir. I don't know the ramifications of that, but they pose little threat. I'll save just in case. As I tried to do so, a quiet worm revealed themselves, snatched my psalm cylinder, then played the music on their gramophone. That was strange, and it seems I can't go anywhere in the Whispering Vaults without being interrupted by the choir. What they didn't know about me is that I'm a strict instructor, and I cut them all from first chair. Then 2 of the false titans showed up. But unlike the 2 nameless from that gruesome gauntlet in the high halls, they were easily disposed of. I don't know why I went in that arena when I just turned around and went a different way in search for another connecting path to the choral chambers. That's an interesting poster. Word of advice. List your showtime so people know when your show starts. I must have impeccable timing. Let the show begin. Trobio this! In my 112% Hollow Knight video, many of you criticized me for attacking Grim during his bow. Some things just never change. Funny how both the bosses I disrespect during their introductions also have great theatrics. Although an impressive presentation doesn't always mean results, as Trobio has not hit me once yet. You need to mix it up, dude. Doing a spin while I pogo attack you, and you respond by sending out twisters to your sides does nothing. I should be a free shot at that angle. Yes, yes, the fireworks are pretty. Trobio! Yelling Trobio when you move just lets me know when you're gonna attack. If I ever did get too greedy, the intermissions gave me enough time to heal. Trobio! Stop yelling Trobio and focus. Ooh, ha, ooh, hee, ha. I know this is my first performance with Trobio, but I'm really kicking myself for choking. I should have been promoted from understudy to main actor after the first night of the showing. On the second night, I really didn't show I improved at all, but I gotta hand it to Trobio. He really gives a lot of second chances. Sometimes I'd accidentally let him walk over me 2 times in a row, and yet I was still able to recover from it. So keep up the pressure, Hornet. The trooper will crack down from viewer pressure soon enough, and will elongate his exit. Drama King. I'll take your claw meter backstage for future prep, because I ain't sacrificing my healing. Did I forget anything? He moved!
Oh, you don't see it? He moves! Right there!
Coincidence? I think not. Well, I think I've covered just about all of Whispering Vaults. The last room featured another repeat after me ringing game in the dark and got me a second cog heart piece. Trobio also had a secret elevator hidden stage left that led to the underworks. But what is he really hiding under the elevator?
Right, motherfucker.
For a little guy, he sure packs a punch. Jeez, I almost died again. Wait for it. Take him out. According to the map, the last song to learn is not that way, definitely not that way. Only pins for you. Eventually, I made my way into a recognizable room that housed a familiar-looking worm and held the sacred cylinder. Hey, Vault Keeper, I need you to insert this tape for me. The large worm rejects in disgust, saying I have no respect for the dead since I robbed a grave. Either prepare the cylinder and stay silent, or ready yourself to learn regret. That scared him. He's big enough to take me on, but is enough of a wuss to sit and watch me learn the Vault Keeper's melody. All 3 songs obtained. This calls for a celebration. Hot tub break. All right, break's over. Song of the Architects, voice of the Keepers, melody of the Conductors. Accept my musical offering and let me enter your sacred heart. It is time. Started from the bottom, now we're here. I've reached the summit of Pharloom. Lace? There's no way you're the final boss. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Have you learned nothing? You're still falling for my classic jump, pogo, dash away, then rinse and repeat. I keep doing this over and over and over again. She can't change with that small sheep follower brain of hers. Having heard my insults, her patterns don't change, but she leaves behind small energy blasts after her attacks. I want to challenge you, Ace of Spades. Show me a new move. And she did. A new aerial attack. Then I fell for the oldest trick in the book, smacking and falling into her counter, and fumbled the rest. Unfortunately for you, Lace, what kills my past self makes me stronger, smarter, and ultimately, I dance around your swinging sword again. But the face card has more aces up her sleeve. Super multi-flurry sword attacks, 2 in a row. That cut my HP fast. I better heal. She got me. I've already got her figured out. Dash from the circle, go in, uppercut, dash again, then knock her off stage. She did manage to best me again, but I've already got my next attempt planned. Hogflies, come forth! Bash into her while I'm dodging to rack up any damage we can. By the time they were fallen in battle, Lace had already been wounded enough to be taken out by a few lousy pins. Shuriken! What are you laughing about? Are you the Joker?
Face the Holy Mother, who would fashion so cruel and crude a daughter as me. After all,
It's you she wants.
is it not?
Lace, I had no idea you felt that way. I will avenge you and slay Mother. It turns out, the top of the Citadel was only a false summit. Above it is the Cradle. Similar to many parts of the Citadel, though, is the amount of climbing. Team Cherry always has some kind of run back, even for the second act's final boss. But hey, I'll take this over a group of minions to beat any day of the week. Mother, I challenge you! Grandmother Silk? She's actually my grandma? You're telling me this entire land has been enslaved to the authority of an old lady? Her age has probably weakened her. Pharloom will be saved in no time. Look how sloppy she's using her telekinesis powers hurling needles. Not a scratch on me yet. Okay, maybe I need to respect my elders. Grandma whooped me. Also, I just realized what Hornet says here. Alright, so I know how to get past the needles, but what about that claw swipe? Well, with a little luck, I accidentally discovered how. Did you see that? When she unsheathes her hand, dash under it. For future reference, there's a certain way to do it. This is all I could come up with at the moment. With the temporary solution, I was able to hack at Grandma, bringing her to her knees, trying to knock sense into her. My Nana panics with a shriek and covers the screen with web. Fool, I am one of your kin. Surely I know the way of Silk myself, and I'm not falling for this. It's too soon to end. Wow, who would have guessed she's still alive? It's going to take more than a few rocks to get rid of me. That wasn't long since our last family reunion. All she does differently at this get-together is add the falling rocks to the mix of her usual setup. Uses double the amount of silk and spikes. How did I not see that coming? It's like the default upgrade to make a section more difficult, and it's admittedly got me flustered for some reason. The issue with this new setup is at times I couldn't reach her even if I wanted to. Oh yeah, and that dash toward her during the swipe, I wasn't doing it right. I think I just got lucky a couple of times. It was too late this round, but it dawned on me how to damage her when I was out of reach. My little bug buddies. Look at them go while I'm going through my self-care routine. With that sorted out, I needed to figure out how to dodge her swipe, and it clicked instantly when I rematched her. You gotta be in front of or dang near that woman at all times. When you're close to her, you'll be able to sneak under her hand before it reaches ground level. That's what I'm talking about. This is only my 5th attempt, and I gotta say, Grandmother really doesn't feel that hard of a battle. I mean, I can't beat her with my eyes closed, but compared to some others we faced, there has definitely been worse. Maybe it's just my playstyle, because I feel once you get the flow, you just flow with her attacks. Once I felt I got a decent amount of hits in during this part, I released the hounds. I still chimed in when I could and struggled to keep up, but a large burden of responsibility was off my shoulders as my robo buddies finished the job. Keep stabbing the eye, Hornet! Get all that silk! Yes, I can feel her power flowing through my veins. Good, good. Do it. Unlimited power! Silk overruns the cradle and is cast throughout the land. Grandma is gone, but to keep it that way, one must take her place. Behold, the new Weaver Queen. Wait, end credits? What about Act 3? And how come my save file doesn't show any percentage? It must be due to the uncompleted missions. Do you hear that wailing sound? The slap has hired me to shut up whoever that is. I'm on it, tracking and following the noise. That's odd. The wailing stopped, yet these little broods appeared. I wiped them out with one hit each. Correctional officer, I thought you hired me to get rid of this mess. Or maybe it was their plan to execute me. This isn't gonna turn out well for you. Wailing prisoner, show yourself. The Brood Mother. I take it you're the real mastermind behind this prison. This mom can give birth anytime and puts her kids on the line. Is life not precious to you? Ugh! A belly flop? That can't be good for the womb. Well, it's certainly not good for me, as I kept lounging in the middle just asking for her to dogpile on me. Having learned my lesson, I terminate the newborns and stay against the wall to be ready for her leap attack that I pogo then dash away from. After facing the Brood Mother a few times, it wasn't that bad. I mainly had to get used to smacking the small flies away as to not get caught in their explosions and not get in the way of the boss's attacks. When it came to healing, I'd skip the pogo after she dived to safely bind. Getting desperate, the jail matriarch slams her body up and down about 5 times. That's my signal to let out my bugs. My only job now is to survive. Thank you, boys. Splendid finish. Now let's see if the bartender has vintage nectar for the old man in the Citadel. He does for a price, and says I just have to go down to the cellar to grab it. What he didn't tell me was that it was being guarded due to the lack of pest control he's been refusing to pay for. The whole freaking Red Ant army was camping down here, including the big guy. Like, what? I paid for this. Whatever. I got the vintage nectar. Sir, your cellar seems to have an ant problem. He actually knew the whole time. What a jerk. Moving on, I had no idea what to do to activate Act 3, so I did a spoiler-free of a Google search that I could, and it sounds like I need to free more fleas. Tip number 1, look for breakable walls at fast travel points. Surely I'm close to finding them all. I got the Flea Finder achievement. That's only half of the flock? Ladies and gentlebugs, I present to you my next segment. Going to spots marked on my map I haven't been to. At Craw Lake, the threefold pin. At Sinner's Road, a breakable wall. Inside is, hold up, a new area? Biowater. Buddy, I've been in this biowater before. For real though, maybe the answer to Act 3 is here. You all know the drill at this point when new land is discovered. Booby traps, new enemies that explode upon defeat, because why wouldn't they? Thieves bullying a helpless flea, having no choice to swim in the leech-filled water, taking away my silk abilities just so I can make it to the other side, strum a song so a gate will open, pick up a ruined tool, unexpectedly come across clean water that cleans the leeches off me, and ambushed by creeps with poisoned blow dart guns, snag a memory locket, and am blocked from continuing. I guess I'll have to find another way into Biowater. While searching for another way in, I heard a flea snoring in the whispering vaults. I had to break down not one, but 2 different walls to save the puppy. The bottom hole was to turn on a fan, while the upper hole was to hover up to the lost animal. After volunteering for the rescue, I was lost on where to go next. There was an opening just east of the slab, but it took me revisiting this very spot like 3 to 4 times to realize there were rings I could grapple to. How did it take me so long to see them? I just want to beat my head against the wall sometimes. Chakra, you're alive!
Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
You know, we're all laughing our heads off.
Welcome to Mount Faye, where the weather outside is frightful, but the lights are so delightful. I'll literally freeze to death if I stay out in the cold too long. I need heat. In fact, I almost froze to death just now. Then later I did freeze to death. According to this ancient engraving, the climb above is a test. Did this game just turn into Celeste? My favorite game? A story about a girl taking on her inner demons by proving to herself that she can climb a mountain. The similarities are humorous to observe, and we've only scratched the surface with this first leg of the climb. Next, I float down a slant to the left, collide with a strange rock crystal bug thingy, then almost get rolled over by a droideka from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. I hope all my destruction doesn't cause an avalanche, and I'm still perplexed by these black crystals. Overall, they're a net positive, keeping me above an icy cold lake. And is that a bench sign I see? Oh no, you have got to be kidding me. I eventually left to farm some beads and returned to that save point, because starting over near the bottom was getting quite tedious. I needed my spawn point to be right here, not only to save time, but to practice this segment of the mountain back to back between failures. Right now, you're only seeing my most successful climbs. I want to show you what I did while respecting your time. And trust me, there's more platforming to be done, even harsher than this. I will highlight this one death because the last warm spot was far enough to cause my lives to shatter one by one before I could make it to the next campfire. I took a page from the pro athletes by partaking of the performance-enhancing drug called plasmium.
Cesca. Quiero.
5 lives added provided me with just enough extra time to make it past this point. By the way, I want to shout out the Ascendant Script tool that lets me cling onto walls for a moment before sliding down. Such a game changer. Anyway, for the rest of the way up, I just want to say thank you. If you made it this far, you are a real one. Just like this trek up the mountain, I'll keep giving you my best. Now since I finally made it up here, let's call upon the bird that watches over this cold tundra. The question is, are they friend or foe? Thank goodness it's the former. The avian parts with a fade-down cloak made from her own feathers. It comes with 2 benefits. The first being I'm no longer affected by the cold, blistering weather, and the second, I've got a double jump, baby! I can't tell if I should be happy or sad that I have to backtrack the whole world again. At least Mount Faye is still fresh, and so is this flea. Outside to the left of the bench I initially didn't have money for was a mask shard, and then back inside to the right of the seat was a breakable wall that contained a memory crystal. When hurt by an enemy, the crystal would create diamond bombs. I know you're sick of hearing this, but I can't sacrifice my healing for that. Let the retracing steps begin. Weaving Nest Atla, this is where I picked up the ruined tool. I forgot to take the map here, and according to it, there's a basement. I had already turned on the power source, so is this an elevator? Jeez, give me a heart attack, will ya? That was like the Tower of Terror. Actually, I don't know if it was. I've never been on that ride. One thing's for sure, is the terror has not settled down. Who's there? Has someone come to free me? Or are you here to bring my end? This is Eva. We don't know much about her except that she's a child of weavers, yet not their kin. Hey, you're like me. And sure, I'll let you look deep into me, whatever that means. Eva assists by evolving my crest of the hunter, which is the one I started with. You know I'm stubborn and sticking with the Reaper. What else can you do for me, Eva? Now we're talking! An additional 2 slot. I should have explored all of Weaving Nest earlier. It looks to be somewhat connected with the Moss Grotto. Actually, I'm glad I didn't come earlier. I needed the double jump to reach the snare setter. It doesn't go in a yellow tool slot and requires silk, so that's a no-go. Above the solar elevator is yet another secret hall. Gee, it's like Christmas in Weaving Nest. However, it's come to an end, and I find a new way into the beginning Mossy Grotto zone. Look at these young boys. I'm gonna make them cry. Oh, I'm so scared. The mom is back. 2 mothers.
All right, whoever made our son cry has messed with the wrong moms.
Lesbians.
Ah, drat. I forgot to unequip the memory crystal. It definitely counts as used when highlighted in a boss battle. And took credit for the last kill. Well done. I can't say the same for the Weaving Light, though. I don't need silk generation when my sword does that. At the top left of Greymore was a new area to double jump to called the Wisp Thicket. Just when I thought I'd seen it all, there's more. Right smack dab in the middle of the world, too. I wish on my first visit, though, I had more than 1 life remaining. The Fire Nation is up here. I was okay until they attacked. And guess what? They weren't okay when I attacked. That's a taste of your own medicine. But then the fire was like, oh, I don't need a pyrotechnic to cast myself.
The fire's shooting at us!
The Inferno had a mind of its own, and the Patriarch was the father of the flame. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic this is, and I don't know a counterspell either. All I could think to do was constantly hit the fire in its limbs. I kept pogoing, sometimes being double bounced due to a speed bag, but it got the job done, vanquishing a spot. I proceeded to the next limb I could maneuver to without getting burned. Attacking with my down air kept my movement flexible enough to dodge with a double jump if needed. 2 flames out! Woo! Ah, snap. I need to heal. Oh no. No silk is given for attacking fire. That is totally bogus. I have 1 life left and that's all I'm getting. The Father Flame is in the same situation. If only I could. Ah, dang it. If I can't heal during that fight, then I'll pre-heal pre-fight. Stabby stab time. And I get to crack my cocoon, refilling my silk just before the round starts. Now, if only I could have made it here without getting damaged. Guess I'll compensate with a new way to dodge. When a flame comes at me and I'm unable to double jump, I drop down. Then the boxing speed bag will betray me, offsetting my position. This isn't looking good. I can't dash or flock right after a bounce. And so much for healing with silk. I'm left like a pig over a fire sitting midair like this. I need more plasmium. I can do it. I just need more of the good stuff. Where's the doctor? I can't win without substance. How much is it? $100, $200. Hornet, we're all out. We're not going back to the wormways to feed your addiction. Let's shake off our losses and head to the east side of Wisp Thicket. Not too far, because I think Biowater is just gonna throw us more off our rocker. This mask shard, though, may be just what we need. Or not. We have an even amount of masks, and the fire inflicts double damage, effectively rendering it useless for this specific boss. I just know if I keep at this, I'll eventually get an attempt where I avoid enough fireballs to win. The last lamp only had a few hit points left, but how could I forget about the core? From its center, Father Flame spouts out fireballs for a few seconds. Easy enough. Striking at the core is where I felt I could die at any moment, and that moment sadly but surely came. Dang, this is a frustrating boss. But remember what I said, if I keep doing this, eventually I'll win. And it's looking like it with 6 masks. I still had to play it carefully, and fortunately, the method to victory was clear. When the fireballs slowed down, I'd hop up to slice about 2 to 3 times. But when the fire started spraying like crazy, I got the heck out of the way. Over time though, the nerves come, and I just want it to end. I almost threw the game. However, I bested the Father of the Flame, watched it go boom, and took his soul in the form of a wisp fire lantern. Wisps spawn from it when held. Kinda like my cogflies, except it needs silk. I don't know if I need it now, but maybe later. Who knows? Yes, more craft metal for tools, and more hidden secret ways to the underworks. You know what's insulting? They make you traverse past these killer saws all just for a couple of bucks. There's been a few moments like this that I'm sure those of you who have played Silksong know of. Hunter's March, anyone? Oh, a flea. Are you flipping serious right now? Jubilana is lost again? And where's the memoriam? I'm sorry, she's gonna have to wait. It's not my fault she keeps wandering off. Until I stumble upon that location, I have the architect fix my ruined tool. She literally turned it into a gun. Too bad its ammo is silk. Good news is, I've collected enough tools to be worthy of the architect's key. That unlocks her secret vault containing a giant dead robot. Oh geez, Hornet! It's a cyborg, it doesn't have a soul. Never mind, I was wrong. We got a crest out of it, the Architect's Crest. Instead of a silk skill, you can insert more tools, but it needs memory lockets to be viable, and I'm saving those. Plus the down air is unique. Not gonna lie, I was hoping that Architect key was going to reveal Act 3, and the flea cavern still hasn't moved. I'm so close to giving in and looking them up, but I'll keep double jumping for now. Rumor has it the famous Walt Disney's body was cryogenically frozen and is hidden beneath the Magic Kingdom castle. He's actually right here. They've roboticized him. Like the Tin Man, he needs a heart. I just need one more piece to complete my cog heart I have on hand. But for now, I check out Center's Road's exclusive restaurant. Bring out the food. This customer is hungry. Hey, I've got cold hard cash. I'm not trying to dine and dash. If the service is this trash, I'm leaving a 1-star review. I'd like to speak to your manager. Ugh. This food is terrible. No wonder you're titled the disgraced chef. Not knowing when the food police will arrive, I weave between the nasty food, but am caught off guard by the booty. I'm gonna sue you for copying Peach's side B. She also ground pounds, which was obviously taken from Mario Party. I avoid the next incoming booty, but am already down to 1 life. Just needing a little more silk, I slyly sneak in a couple of jabs and heal back up. I was playing much better until all of a sudden, I jumped into a glob of muck. There goes my thread, and it left me exposed. The chef then dives into the pot and sprinkles more of the main course throughout the arena, putting me in lethal range again. Cogflies, I need you. Keep her distracted while I get out of the way and choke my pins from a distance. I only had 1 buddy left, but together we closed down the diner. I'm okay with this boss exploding to death. What'd she leave behind? Pickled muck maggot. Ah, man. One more item and I'm gonna have to do that running quest. I better refamiliarize myself with blasted steps and check for double jump spots. Well, 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 thief. We meet again. Have you chosen to stop breaking the law and open an honest store? It could be a scam, but if it's not, this thief's mark will make me more money. And it did. I grinded away at the giants in the Citadel until I had about 2,500 rosaries. I never used the snitch pick. I bought a spool and expanded my crafting kit. While looking at my map for more missing spots, I noticed I didn't have a map for biowater. I wandered and wandered until I found a place to double jump to. I must be going the right way because assuredly I have not seen that monstrosity before. I'm swooping under you for now, just in case there's a bench nearby. Chakra! Wait, don't say it!
Call me elf one more time.
He's an angry elf.
Look at you!
If you think she got it bad, get a load of this guy. There are 2 reasons I'm doing this. 1, to kill the pest, and 2, free silk generation. Hasta la vista, baby. Is the whole climb up going to be dotted with these regurgitators? I guess tiny umbrellas are a change of pace. If they weren't, this river of leeches most certainly was. I can't wait for biowater to end. I just hate that at any moment, my threading can become contaminated. Gosh dang it! Something good better be at the end of this bridge. I hate this place. A mask piece? I'll take it, I guess. I was hoping for something more game-changing. I did get the quick sling too that doubles the number of tools thrown. Again, say it with me, not better than healing. My life is constantly on the freaking line thanks to all of these traps. Even so, I keep climbing. Pick up a memory locket, see a sign for a bench, keep killing these horse-sized mosquitoes, get creeped out as I walk past a bunch of dead citizens, add to my list a plethora of reasons why I hate biowater, spoiler alert, it's a never-ending list, and can't believe I didn't die during this incredibly dangerous ascent up a corridor. Oh, never mind. I did. If only I had found this bench sooner. Son of a nutcracker! Why is my life a lie? The only way forward is up near where I died, and I'm losing hope every second. A trial? My hope is back! I will finally find rest after this! These Deku scrubs spit out needle bombs. Little buggies, come forth! I am not losing this battle! After the first wave, stiff bushes fly up by fluttering their feet like a Yoshi and pierce the floor with their sticks. Then I forgot the chubby green mosquitoes explode after being slain. Between each wave, a spiked wrecking ball swings across the room back and forth. Most of the time, my back was pushed up against the wall, but I prevailed and showed the yucky creatures who's boss.
Let's just say I'm the boss.
Roll the Great? There ain't nothing great about this. And you get help? Stay away from me. No, no, no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait. Hello. What you just witnessed is the most difficult boss in my journey thus far. Somebody may take his place as the hardest, but no one had a run back as devastating as Grohl the Great. I had to do this trek every time. I probably spent an hour rerunning this course to rematch him. And then let's not forget to add the time wasted on having to defeat the beginning waves before even getting a chance to rematch the boss. On average, it took me about 2 to 2.5 minutes. A strategy that helped get through it was charging my sword slash while the minions were bubbling in the swamp, and when they came out, they suffered a tough blow to the face. However, sometimes I lost to them. They're not exactly free and can rack up damage on you if you underestimate them. Most of the time, I did beat them. Now let's focus on Grohl. Let me give you a list of reasons this guy sucks. First of all, he actually sucks, and dashing to get away from it could cost you your silk. Second, he has a swinging trap. Third, he can go Ultra Instinct and can shoot Kamehamehas out of his mouth. Fourth, he spits, and the spit explodes. What kind of mucus is that? Exploding mucus. Has biology gone too far? Fifth, and yes, I know I'm going out of order here, his introduction can push you into the poison. Sixth, he looks like he's sitting pretty, clearing out his throat, but he dives. Seventh, I shouldn't dash when he's sucking, right? Well, don't double jump either, or you'll be swallowed up. And eighth, since I'm in a list-making mood right now, I also made a list of things to do when in biowater, and there's only one thing written on there, and that is to leave. I hate Grohl so much, I don't know if I can beat him. All I can think to do is to play it safe. I camp out on the right side so I can dash freely without fear of falling. You can't just hit him in between moves though, or he'll dive on you. The only opening I can find is pogoing his noggin, then retreating to not come in contact with the dive. This is going to take a while. A long while. See? Only one hit, then he dives. When it comes to his minions, I try to stay above them the best I can, but it's never a sure thing. More often than not though, it works. Still, the process is as slow as ever to take down Grohl. As time goes on, I get reckless. Who, me? Couldn't be. I just want this literal sucker gone. I want Act 3, and he's holding me back from it. The frog is down. That means it's time to unload the embargo. I am at full health with a heal stored away, and I'm entering the second phase. I cannot lose this. He's spouting key. Let the bugs do the work. That was pathetic, Andrew. It's like you didn't even try to jump out of the way. And don't just stand there. You've got a pocket full of pins. Unload them. I said, unload them. Disrespectfully, Grohl, I hope you rot in hell. Sorry, I'm just really relieved. Really relieved to finally sit on a bench. In a hut next to my new seat is the Seeker's Soul. More importantly, I can explore biowater with peace of mind knowing I have a healing point nearby wherever I am. Well, for the most part. You're lucky to be alive, Flea. Above Grohl's home was access to a new area. Man, am I anywhere close to Act 3? What the heck? Are the vines alive? Thankfully, I'm alive, but my poor buddy wasn't so lucky. I take it back. Neither am I. I'm getting tired of being chased and strangled. I don't like being strangled. Why is it so dark? Why is the key of the apostate out here? Wait, the key of the apostate? Eureka! I'm thrilled to go back to jail. Said no one ever. Let's check out what's below the bridges. A hut. Is the neighbor friend or foe? Upon entering, I conclude I'm safe. This is the Huntress. She's really hungry and wants me to DoorDash her 3 different kinds of organs. Miss, I have better things to do. I got the key of the apostate and I'm looking for Act 3. Yet I keep running into the same old stuff such as a memory locket and water. At least it's not contaminated. Then to dig deeper in this cell, I have to break quite a bit of these thorns, rocks, thorny rocks? I don't exactly know what I'm clobbering here. Anywho, is an apostate locked in here or what? Did they escape up through here? Or was there no point to this key? Oh, they've got somebody locked up, all right. I've only seen Tai Lung have such drastic chains to keep them bound. I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm freeing whoever is locked inside. It's a tomb with a skill inside, or maybe it's a crest. Hornet, do your thing. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. It's the first sinner. I wanted to put Tai Lung's voice over theirs, but her creepy sounds are vital to understand the character. Does she sound familiar? The grunts and the breathing sound like the widow I fought back in Bellheart. I'm curious though, why is she called the first sinner? It looks like she's wearing a wedding dress. Did she fornicate before the big day? Okay, time to get serious. I feel like I already know what to expect since a lot of her moveset is the same as the widow's. That was days ago. I'm impressed my muscle memory is kicking in. Now, I wasn't flawless, but I wasn't worried either recovering right above her. One thing that was different about the first sinner is she loves to teleport. I'm never gonna reach her if I don't go on the offense. I gotta get in her face. Although I admit my actions were careless. Yet again, I wasn't worried. I'll be restored in no time. In fact, I think it's so much easier than Widow because of my new moves like the floating. We transitioned from rehearsal to the real thing with her doubling the weapons. And then, what's she doing? I don't know for sure, but I think she healed. Because over and over again, we keep doing the same song and dance, yet nothing's changing. Look, she's doing it again. All right, I'm convinced I'm getting nowhere with this. And then I need to step it up a notch in terms of speed. Well, I can play it safe at times, just not when she starts binding. Get her! Oh, duh, that's what she's doing. Binding. Having adapted to the situation, the boss is never safe. And I never let off the gas pedal. Goodbye, sinner. How did I fall for that? On the literal bright side, the only addition to her arsenal are exploding energy bubbles. That's it. I have nothing else to say about this fight. It was a breeze. I've pretty much seen it before, it was fun, and I won on my first try. Or did I? Find her, Hornet! The Rune Rage skill. Ah, that is sick. I wonder what could be locked up behind the other apostate door. It was nothing too insane, just a mask shard. Not that I'm scoffing at such a blessing. I just came from a boss fight, and I'm definitely not complaining. This surely will help in Act 3. Speaking of which, the fleas have about dang time decided to move. However, they need me to find a place for them. Act 3 is blue balling me like no other. I did notice an opening on my map that I failed to check before. It was near the violin bow-wielding giants. Where could it lead to? Memoriam! I can look for Jubilana here, and her scent is right near the entrance. Memoriam is filled with a lot of familiar faces. The beetle is new though. The tracking also brought me to the map. This place is effortless. Whoa, I'm outside. I'm actually outside of the Citadel. Bummer, there's no grass to touch.
Scram! Leave her alone. She doesn't want to talk to you.
It was nice seeing you, girl, but I gotta make sure to cover my bases and not miss a single thing while I'm up here. I knew it! A secret hole in the wall. Where's the good Mexican food? Hold up, the petrified ducks? These do not look like scared ducks. All I know is that saggy sack of theirs is making me uncomfortable. Will you please go away? I need to find— oh, thank you for eating that mosquito for me. The creatures here are devious. Look at this. There's a vine set up to keep you tied while the monster gobbles you.
I'm sorry, little one.
Your sacrifice was not in vain, buddy. I'll see you in Valhalla. I, too, will sacrifice myself. Nah, I'm just kidding. I needed the vines to help me get up to the map. Eventually, I escaped the disgusting leech-filled rivers and landed at a place of solitude. Yes, this is where the fleas can call home. The lake is clean and cure diseases. There's metal to build stable homes. I must tell them of this place. But first, a few stops on the way back. For the third time, I played the repeat after me game, completing my cog heart. Scour every inch of Memoriam, meet the local residents, re-experience my trauma of conch flies, traverse past way too many spikes, most of which are required to get past for completion. And if that wasn't enough terrain danger, there's an electrifying section. How shocking. Materium? I don't have time for home decorations. At the very top of Memoriam was a huge flea caged up. Up for you, boy. Why, you're welcome, good boy. Oh, down, boy, down. Flea, I'm taking you home. Settle down. You have no boundaries. I'm going to have a word with your owner after my shopping spree with Jubilana. Mr. Flea Master, you're really not bringing that big buffoon, are you? You two just need time together. A tool expansion is not what I had in mind, and oh, you guys are just calling the place whatever you want, huh? Well, thanks. My crafting kit is filled to the max. But where is Act 3? I don't want this useless stuff. How many more ceilings do I have to suffer the likes of vines choking my body to make it up them? Let's count how many strangled me here. That was 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. Pharloom is infested with fleas. I never stop finding them. At least Vogue here will mark my map of any remaining, indicating there is an end to them. Enough of that jolly group for now. The Tin Man needs a heart. Where'd they go? A thank you would have been nice. Is this my life? Saving people and stimulating the economy on my own for nothing in return? I did see the Sentinel throughout the Citadel, guarding the fortress just like it was programmed to do. Then later, they posted on the wishboard for me to be their final audience at the High Halls. What that really means is they want to kill me since I'm an intruder. Observing their sword style, Link from Super Smash Bros. Must be coded in them. Or maybe they're part of Team X-Men. Oh, that's a sword beam. 2 points for Link. I'm conflicted, and honestly really tired of hitting brick walls in this game when it comes to progressing the story. It reflected in my gameplay too, where I made a bunch of blunders because I was being stupid. Even considering all that though, it wasn't that crazy of a fight and I won on my 3rd attempt. Reflecting on their loss, the Sentinel calls me a friend, hands over a reserve bind, then departs. Respectfully, Sentinel, I appreciate the departing gift, but a single reserve bind that takes up a tool slot? Why not just get good? I'm being ungrateful. I do have a good reason, because the area I'm returning to isn't exactly one of my favorites. Outside on the very edge of Songclave is a hatch. A hatch that drops me down to bile water. Freaking bile water. Past the vines. Wait, vines are new. And is that a baby I hear? It is! I'm coming, little one! Twisted Bud. You look like someone I know. Ah, my sister!
I would like to see the baby.
The time of birth is near. Ugh. Act 3? No.
We are Venom.
My silk, I can't heal. My crest, I can't attach tools. It is a pain trying to navigate without a compass. Are there any NPCs that can heal me? The Bellheart Mare and Hermit said that this exile maybe can. I call out to them, and upon seeing my condition, she lets me in. However, before the doc can cure me, she needs her extricator upgraded. Vengeant and Cruel from Sinner's Road have the supplies. Without my compass, I take the wrong way getting to them and save a flea named Krat. Not long after, I find the duo and buy steel spines from them. This better work, Doc, or you're going to have quite the lawsuit on your hands. Crest of the witch is unbound, and I instantly made a full recovery. Hooray! No physical therapy, and no witch crest. It supposedly can leech life, but it seems too risky for me. Anyhow, Krat the Flea asked me to meet him at Fleetopia. The perv tries calling me Nectar Sweet, which I obviously abstain to. And then he charges me to use his spa even after saving his life. That guy gives me the ick, but I do look forward to relaxing. At the Pinstress's home in Blasted Steps, I needle my way up with the rings outside to yet another region called the Sands of Carrick. Right off the bat, it shows I'm going to be getting around in a way I haven't before, and that no other place will be like this. That's a regional form of Kabuto if I've ever seen one. So far, it's not too bad, and it's really nothing we haven't seen before. It's just that there's a hidden timer for each platform once they appear after hitting a pearl. As of now, though, nothing too crazy. Hey, Chakra, where's my insult about being short? That's what I thought. For better or worse, this area is actually not that large, so hopefully my time here is short. A technique I did learn while being here is harpooning with the needle before executing your double jump. It really is helpful when trying to maneuver midair. By the looks of it, there seems to be a theme here. If you're not red, you're dead. Thanks for the key. I'm surprised how many parts of Pharloom share the spiky red rocks. There are so many of them here, I was contemplating how many to highlight. I mean, it's kind of boring to watch, but I wanted to show you at least a fraction of how many I broke down. So just trust me and let's move on. Oh no, a crust nut. Do I have to do the running quest now? What about that key I recently stole? There's a door beneath the Forged Daughter that I've actually been sour about not saving my past keys for. At first sight, it's more of deep docks, but the pothead's true leader resides down here. Big Helmet Man. Wow, what a joke. I was expecting someone with at least half a brain to be able to take me on down here. Flint and Steel. Flint Slate, close enough. One silver lining about coming here late is I don't have to backtrack here again thanks to my skills on hand for the miscellaneous stuff. The gauntlets flew by a lot faster too with my sharp blade, saving the innocent. Oh, by the way, those were new enemies that like to go boom. They must have forgotten to turn friendly fire off. More craft metal for me. All those explosions left me in a disadvantaged state as I strolled into the office of Four Brother Cygnus. Get up, come on, get down with the Cygnus. Get up, come on, get down with the Cygnus. Oh, not that down, Hornet. I gotta keep in mind my low HP, so the Cogflies are making an early appearance. Apparently, Cygnus's employees are showing up early too. I'll work on getting them fired while my comrades eat the main course. Or they'll do both for me. How come everyone's deciding to clock in now? Man, my little buddies are the best. I only had to avoid like 2 attacks, and they've already cleared the way for me to take on the Four Brother head on. We've got you surrounded. Give up now. I should have known he had a brother that would join. If that's how it's gonna be, I don't send out my little guys until Cygnus recruits 2 allies. But this time I pull my weight and play offensively so I can save my supplies for when both brothers 2v1 me. Plus, now that I've seen his moves, I've got no issues 1v1ing the first round. Let's get this party started, Gron. Say hello to my little friends. Spam tools, spam tools. I was spamming so much in hopes the battle would end quickly. It was kind of working since the brothers would stay on the left side of the field while I camped over on the right. Unfortunately, my laziness left me exposed to attacks. I did take down Cygnus, however, Gron finished me off. I can beat this using the same strategy, just need to be more aware of my surroundings. Then the unthinkable happened. Gron is stuck. He glitched mid-battle. Cygnus, you're a dead man. You're nothing without him. I can't believe this happened. But why did it happen to an easy boss? This would have been fantastic versus Grohl the Great. Oh well, we take those. Whoa, whoa, he's recovered from paralysis. And I'm instantly calm again. All he does is throw his javelin. Don't you miss your brother? Here, let me help you join him. Feeling the heat of things of where I'm going next, and seeing huge demonic slugs, my reward for tearing apart a family may be joining them in hell. And now I'm taking a U-turn back up? Where the heck am I going to? Limbo? I'm not sure this new tool is going to fit in my pocket. It reads to be an old diving bell, but it's locked. Of course it is. I'm apathetic towards every result at this point in my playthrough. Back to what feels like meaningless side quests until something happens. With my new flint slate, I heat up my sword to cook seared organs, drill baby drill to harvest shredded organs, then hunt with my arching long pins to skewer some meat. Here you go, Huntress. Wholesomely, she states the food will be for her children and hands me the long claw that increases the range of my needle. That would be cool if it didn't take away my healing arts. Anyways, what's on the wish board? Chakra? You found your master? You've got to be flippin' kidding me. Biowater? Is this some kind of trap? I can excuse jokes about my height, but I draw the line at biowater. Hold on a second. Where am I? There's water? Is this Fleetopia? Is Chakra chasing waterfalls? Have you not heard the TLC song, Chakra? Don't go chasing waterfalls. Oh, sorry for the lack of reverence. I see your master has passed. We shall honor her with a funeral. On the brink of tears, Chakra lends me her throwing rings, then vanishes. Oi. For once, caretaker, I am happy to hear that sound. I need something to do. You have a method to remove the monarch without me claiming her station? The caretaker exclaims there is a way with the strength of his family and my snare setter. The seeker's soul is his dead cousin, the maiden's soul is his sister, the chapel maid, and the hermit's soul is his uncle, the bell hermit. Together, we climb to Grandma's nest where he'll spring a trap, but I must play the needle in instead of killing her. Roger that. Grandma, hold still! The needle in! Play the needle in! I'm not replacing you. It's time to relocate, Nana. Oh my gosh! She's taking me with her! Caretaker! Caretaker! Lace? You saved me, but what's going on with Pharloom? My save file, has it become corrupted? I'm having to destroy the tendrils with the A button to get in. Yes! I am so freaking happy. We did it, baby. We're in Act 3. Sure, Hornet is injured badly, but she'll get over it. Sure, the enemies are stronger due to some kind of darkness overtaking them, but they'll get over it. I hope. Everything's going to be just fine. Sherma? Songclave is destroyed? What happened? The Great Breaking began? And why are you wearing the caretaker's garb? He put you in charge so he could confer with his family below? Something fishy is going on. I better take the elevator down to... Oh, that's great! The elevator's caved in. My grinding method has been crushed, and I have to take the long way. Steven, I need you to take me to Bone Bottom stat.
Ada!
That's not Steven. Oh, no, 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 no. Steven. Oh, Steven. Steven. You bastard bell eater. You ate Steven, didn't you? You are going to feel pain. Have you seen the movie John Wick? Well, guess what? I'm freaking John Wick now. Get that foulness out of my face. You better start working out because I'm gonna wreck your face and your groin. It's gonna be worse than testicular cancer. I don't care what you smother me in. I'll come back stronger. Red. Breathe, Andrew. If you're going to properly avenge Steven, you can't rush in like a bull. It's going to take time, but we can beat it. The Bell Eater then widens the battlefield and slithers across. Afterwards, bells fall. Then the oversized insect attacks with both ends at the same time. I can't aim for both. There's only enough space for one hit, then I have to back off. I rage, though. I can't control it. Steven is dead. Gosh dang it. His death will be in vain if I keep fighting like this. I need to observe the centipede's methods. I'm never going to win if I don't know what to do. The main hurdle was the squirter. I soon realized it points in which direction it will shoot first. So if it pops out pointing the opposite direction of me, I slice right away. Then when it was pointing my way, I still went for it. Just started way faster. The head wasn't complicated. I'm sure you can all see why for yourselves. And that's the pattern I executed pop out after pop out. I had a groove. I was furious on the inside, but was controlling my emotions. My thirst for revenge kept me going, and even when the bells went ring-a-ding-ling, I floated like Mary Poppins, y'all. Bell Eater, let's end this!
Steven! I thought you were dead!
And you know what else? You know what else? You're
A girl dragon!
Steven is a mom! And now I can mimic the song of the Bell Beast, meaning I can fast travel from anywhere. It's a little late for this mechanic, but I'm glad you're alive, Steven. I wish I could say the same for Bone Bottom. Sadly, it looks to be no more. Hopefully, the caretaker can provide an explanation. No way. Could they have betrayed Pharloom? Or wait, I'm not gonna try to act like I'm a Hollow Knight expert, but they're revealed to be Snail Shaman. That explains Gruul's powers after eating the Shaman of the Seeker's soul. I don't think they're evil, but they truly miscalculated the repercussions of the trap, especially since the mother is resisting the dark to save her child. Does that mean Grandmother Silk actually cares for Lace? I don't know. I better get down to the void and find out for myself. I inquired of the Forge Daughter to assist me in using the diving bell. She told me to ask Ballo, her passive pothead co-worker, and after some convincing, he meets me down at the diving bell station. Do you have any experience with this type of transport?
No one does, miss.
We're all gonna die. You got the bell open at least. I'm strapped in, Ballo. Ready for liftoff. It's getting hotter. The vehicle is cracking. Yet, I somehow survived the journey to the center of the earth. Unable to understand anything Ballo is saying via the communicator, I break out of the vessel and continue on foot into the abyss. Is it just me, or are these the same bugs from Hollow Knight? Are the worlds connecting? Oh, never mind. Those are new ones. What are they flying? Leeches! Is Biowater following me? Oh my gosh, we're not in Kansas anymore. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Oh yay, my favorite. Spikes galore. Hornet, how are we going to get back up to Pharloom? The diving bell is broken. Remember? A sea of void tentacles. Isn't that charming? And now a dead end. Or is this the source? Monarch, would you let your lands be choked black to protect just her?
Spider Dean!
Lace appears, letting us know that denying her mother my strength was her rebellion. I proclaim to her that I will return and free her from her mother's grasp. Trying to find a way out, I snag a far sight that can be assembled later and stumble upon the remains of a weaver. Finding the mask grants me the Silk Soar, a super jump. Well, technically I have to grapple my needle to the ceiling, then I super jump. Yeah. This is my ticket out of here. A ruin depicting the abyss? Oh, it's a map. How convenient. That'll make getting to Pharloom less tedious. It's a long way up. Oh, there's more. Hornet, it's not too late to change your occupation to a K-pop demon hunter. We're going up, up, up. It's our moment. You know, together we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Yow! Oh, lucky me. It spawned me on the ledge I missed. And there's an explosive right here to release hot air. I'm on my way up. I'm on my way up. Hot, hot. The walls are hot. Hornet is one impressive child of a weaver, being able to withstand the blazing heat of coals for a couple seconds at a time. The more we get closer to Pharloom, the brighter the scenery gets, going from cold gray to blazing red-orange. Can't forget to mention the spikes and numerous amount of explosives we have to set off in order to make it out of this abyss cave, including this big one that once after it blows up, still has remains and falls to the floor below, igniting another explosion, except this time it erupts the volcano somehow, increasing the urgency to escape or it will catch up to us. Thankfully, the wall jumping is fairly simple and straightforward. At this rate, I'll make it out of here with my head on my shoulders. Newsflash, the rate changes. Combining the arts of pogoing and harpooning, I'm feeling like a floating tap dancer, keeping on beat as I use my enemies to propel me up and wall jump off of the crumbling walls, yet I drowned in the lava, but got back up, healed, and pressed forward. My platforming was on point and my countless hours of gameplay before this well prepared me for this moment. It's time to make our final ascent, Hornet! Super jump! Nothing to it. Oh, I feel like an idiot. Why didn't I call on the little Stevies? All right, snails, listen up. You made things worse. So here's what I'm going to do. The flower that resists the dark. Do you know of it? The Everbloom? The shamans say I'll need to seek out the old hearts of the kingdom to bear its strength. And to obtain the old hearts, I'll need to learn this song the trio sings. Stick to spells, guys. The Elegy of the Deep will draw out the memories of Pharloom's forgotten past. The shamans marked the 3 locations on my map. Then I departed to the sands of Karak. Down on the east side of the treacherous desert was an orb that provided me a way to the top floor. The first heart was just around the corner, but I noticed a hole in the ceiling by accident and just had to satisfy my interest. Unbeknownst to me was a boss waiting for my arrival in the shocking biome, Voltvirim. I don't spend long here because the specimen is rather very simple. Its pinkness exposes itself and it attacks with electricity. That's it. Talk about the definition of a side boss. Speed up the tape. In classic fashion, I dodge a lot, lot, get hit a lot due to my recklessness, and heal a lot due to many given opportunities to do so. I continued in this classic fashion until my distraction was eliminated from my procrastinating behavior, winning on my first try. Volt Filament, a charged organ that imbues silk skills with electricity. Now, where was I? The orphaned conchfly. You couldn't defeat me with your brother. How do you expect to do it alone? He did have one slight chance with me running into this skirmish with only 3 lives left. However, it was the same old fight as last time. But the brother did not come alone. He brought cousins. I have a few new friends myself since our last meeting. The odd thing is I saw his cousins once, and then it was back to the single great conchfly. Buddy, you can't be doing this by yourself. A bit later, he called upon them again, and then they left again. Dude, your allies are better than you. Look, they just almost took me down. Even then, I could always recover and dodge a lot better the second time they come around. Accept your fate, raging conchfly. Join your brother. Gee, that's 2 families I've killed off. Am I the bad guy? It had to be done. Into the entrance of the tower, I steal the conch cutter, which would let me shoot a ricocheting projectile like a conch fly, but I can't stoop as low as my enemies. Playing the elegy of the deep, I collapse and awake in what looks to be the past. It's clearly a vision that feels so real. Am I in an aquarium? It's gorgeous. I look around in awe, and at the top learn I'm at the Coral Tower. Its interior design may be original, but its defenses being yet another gauntlet exacerbates my yawn. I can't tell if they're part of the Red Ant Army or a species related to the conches. They sure seem like the former with nicer armor, but you know the crazy thing? They're kind of easy. The swordsmen strafe left and right, chasing me while I hunt down the flyer. Then I pogo the knights to death. Conch flies, the pesky little buggers too. On the bright side, this reef does have a soft spot, providing me with floaty jellies that seem to exist for my silk ammunition. More new infantry enter the scene and don't pose a threat. I can even bash blades with them and come out the winner. And the coral knocks out their own kind too. That has to be the easiest minion rush mode I've done. Okay, I'm ready for the boss now. More ants? Oh yeah, these are definitely freshened up ninja ants from Hunter's March. Instant transmissioning like Saiyans. Where's your master? Time is of the essence for Pharloom and your numbers are dwindling. Come on, this has gotta be him. Jumpin' jellyfish. It's a jellyfish, Patrick. Akin to the small jellies last round, the marine animal was to supply silk for me. Thank you? Enough! I feel like this circus is just wasting my time now. You got a bozo running into walls. Be real with me. Is this really a trial or is it content filler? I just want to see your supervisor. I guess I'll have to comply with the Ow! The jellies have spikes now? What I was saying is I guess I have to comply with the prerequisites to move on. Going up to the 3rd level with silk refreshments right before it. This has got to be the boss. Gosh dang it! 1 red ant genocide later. Honey, I think I've lost my mind. They're mocking me at this point. They have to be mocking me. Eliminate the bubble boy, Hornet. There is no way I am going through all of that again if I lose. Thus, I make my own permanent shortcut just in case I fall in the next battle. A platform above deadly spikes. I'm ready to meet you, owner of Coral Towers. I am going to hit a child. A 2nd red ant genocide later. Y'all better hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husbands because I'm killing everybody out here. 1 epic super jump later, the stupid, bureaucratic, red tape loving CEO of time wasting has shown his shell. I'm going to return the favor by only highlighting our 2nd match, which is the one where I beat you. You don't deserve any more of my precious screen time. You know, the bummer is, the Crust King actually has a really cool design. He looks like a red ant Power Ranger and he controls nature with stylish arm gestures. However, that's about it when it comes to the Crust King. Sure, he does summon spiky coral to come out faster as the battle goes on, but there's a reason I demolished him on my 2nd try. You could see his attacks coming, and you could see where it was safe to heal when needed to. 10 out of 10 design, but 1 out of 10 difficulty. 1 heart down, 2 to go. Next, I went looking for the heart of the woods, but I couldn't figure out how to get there. Then the thought struck me, is my house okay? The shop is still open, people are still posting quests, deliveries are still going strong. Oh, my house, it's fine. Remember that Farsight from the Abyss? Well, apparently after you assemble it at your home, you can see your completion percentage on your save file. 82% down. Woo! I'm getting there. While delivering a courier to Fleetopia, I learned the void that has come upon the land sometimes randomly triggers spontaneous void-infested minion gauntlets. By the way, the super jump damages packages. Lame. I delivered these supplies all the way to Fleetopia, even past Biowater. You know, if I was able to do that, I'm ready for the real challenge I've been putting off, the Courier's Rasher. Change of plans though. Way back when I first attempted this delivery, I went west through Shellwood, then would lose the package somewhere along Blasted Steps. This time, I'm going through Greymoor because I have new ways up to the Citadel that I believe will be much safer and less risky. Also, part of my strategy was not saving on any benches. The last bench I would touch would be back in Bellheart, so that way if I failed for any reason, I could simply restart my game and start back at the beginning. Saving on a bench midway would waste much more time, causing me to travel back to Bellheart to do it all over again. Anyhow, I was breezing past Sinner's Road. I felt scaling upwards fast would keep me away from danger, and if you hadn't noticed yet, I unequipped my healing tools for the Wisp Fire Lantern and Toxic item. The former would spawn fire to whenever an enemy was close by, and that along with my toxified cogflies would nearly always neutralize any bad guys in my way so I wouldn't have to deal with them. I could sit back and watch, then keep going. If I needed to fight, I would battle from a distance with straight pins. I crept past Sinner's Road into the exhaust organs, where then I rode up an elevator to the Coral Chambers. I didn't exactly have the entire route memorized. I would go off my memory the best I could, but I most certainly whipped it out for a quick peek 5 to 10 times. If I viewed it through the pause menu, it wouldn't reduce the time the package had left. And get this, I made it on my first try. I couldn't believe it. I was scared of doing this for so long, and here I go just finishing it in a matter of minutes. I even bumped into a wall and got hit by an enemy once. I'm glad I waited until the late game to do this. At last, we could see the meal the old man put together with all 5 items I delivered, and we'll have the honor of meeting his master? You're welcome. I'll take that pale oil now. Oh, Pinmaster, my needle is ready for its final upgrade. Huh? He's gone to the woods. Garmin and Zaza, join me in tracking down the Pinmaster. The land is ripe with these void masses, and whenever anything with void touches me, it diminishes some of my silk, making it hard to heal. All the mind-controlled citizens are corrupted with it, so I let my pins save the Pinmaster from these voided fiends. Now please, sir, sharpen my needle. Thanks to you, it is now the strongest it can be, and the Pinstress has issued a challenge for me on the wishboard. So I go to face her. Where is she? Why is everyone leaving their homes and making me follow them? And why is the Pinstress making me hike up freaking Mount Everest? I've already been, oh, did she freeze to death? I'm gonna poke you because you're dead. Poke, poke, poke. Ah, she's alive! And she is still seeking a death duel to leave this world in style. Careful what you wish for, Pinstress. Are you familiar with the saying, the student has become the master? Oh, I get it. You're called the Pinstress and you throw pins. Who could have seen that coming? Real talk though, her tactics are actually really simple, but for some reason, it's still surprisingly difficult. And from what I've observed, it's because she exploits my pogo habits. To cut me some slack, I did attempt the first fight with low HP and no silk. Surely I won't lose now that I'm filled up. I wasn't kidding. She's got my number and cell phones don't even exist yet. Pogo attacking doesn't work as often when she can parry back during her dash. Then she takes advantage of me flailing afterwards. I have to hit the sweet spot for it to work continuously. That dash up though, is it even worth it for me to attack like that? But when else am I supposed to strike? She loves to float, double jump, vanish, whatever she does, and doesn't play near the ground often. After pin throws, I'll have to squeeze in dash uppercuts where I can. Aside from that, all I could do to improve was to get good. Seriously, look at this footage. The only things I failed to mention are her charged needle attacks and me being more aggressive in the air. It also helped knowing I could deflect her pins with my needle to further protect myself. Anyways, after a lot of back and forth and about 16 minutes of attempts, I leapt up and staggered my master.
Strike me down with it.
Nope, you have to suffer here just like the rest of us. Now give me my pin badge for beating you, pin gym leader. The next side quest said to go back to the stage. The mural is now purple, and guess who's back? Drum roll please as I read an excerpt of his monologue. You, Mightor Mourner, fell fated chosen left till last. Relent, submit. The fatal blow was struck. Fair Pharloom wails its end. How in the the world did you top your last dramatic entrance? I should have killed you when I had the chance. Your trickery has leveled up. He tends to pop out of the floor while his party balls smoke up the room. And wherever he goes now, a trail of explosive pixie dust follows, which leads to some nasty combos. Staying above him seems to be a safe place to strike, yet his spectacles never take a break in between his crossbeam, illegal fireworks, and it just goes on. He doesn't have openings like he used to. I need to observe him. Thus, I did that the next go-around. I tried to keep to myself as I downloaded his patterns into my mind. Of course, I'd attack here and there, but the objective of this attempt was to study. And I came to a conclusion rather quickly. I needed to focus on myself. I needed to let go of my aggression, because when I'm chasing after him or darting all over the stage, that's when I meet my demise. And I saw plenty of opportunities where he'd land himself near me to quickly stab him or do an overhead attack. Like here, I should have ran away instead of trying to end the battle ASAP. I had to take my time. Would I rather replay this theatrical performance of me losing again and again, or go slow and steady and win the third try? When Trobio takes flight, I strike with an up air attack, then show him he's not the only graceful bug in town, timing my double jumps perfectly and dropping to the floor quickly to jump back up before the sparks get me. I was doing it! I was waiting him out until he came next to me. He couldn't resist, and I was able to speed things up when given the chance to pogo atop of him multiple times. I never used my double jump except to retreat, and healing kept me afloat too. Trobio's battle cry, the climax must be near. Amidst the fireworks, I released my tech crew. If you want to give a stunning performance, Trobio, you need a team backstage. Get him! Full on offense! Ah, what am I doing? I'm going against my plan. Switch to pins! Switch to pins! Stay in the corner! Stay in the corner! I only have 2 tech bugs remaining. I'll have to finish this myself. Screw the no double jumping rule unless it's for escaping. I'm ending this now! Yeah, we get it. You're making your dramatic exit. Why am I not killing him? I'd rather the Phantom still be alive instead of him. Oh well. I take his dark mirror from the set, which upgrades the previous mirror's effects, then set off to race the fastest in Pharloom somewhere in the far field. While seeking out the track and field stadium, I relished in one benefit that came after the rapture. I no longer had to pay to get into Pilgrim's Rest, and the shop owner died from the incident, so I took his loot for free. Why would I want to be heavier, and why can I not find a way to these two? Gilly, my camouflage friend, are you still alive? A light means a new way out of Hunter's March, back into far fields. Come on, man. Oh, never mind. I take it back. A new cave. I'm in new territory, yet in familiar far fields. I see Gilly is still safe, hiding like a weirdo, and the Hunter's March bouncing traversal makes a return. Whoa, how far off course have I gone? Or am I actually on course, having found the Lone Racer? Yup, runners love to stretch. Now there's a total of 3 races, but I'm only going to show the last one since it's better and more difficult in every way. I put on my running shoes, aka soak speed anklets, and we're off! This is also not my first round by any means. It took blood, sweat, and tears to race with the best of the best in all of Pharloom. I also needed to practice in order to know the course like the back of my hand. Now let's focus on the race. As you just saw, my method of floating past the punching bags didn't pay off. I need to harpoon them, but I don't think I effectively ever get used to it. Here I drop straight down, then double jump into a dash, closing the gap. Another dash around the corner, and we're on to lap 2. On foot. He's technically faster than me, which is why I need to mid-air dash onto any platforms I can. At the punching bags, I harpoon, not wasting as much time, but don't know why I didn't harpoon again right after. I make up for it, skipping the next speed bag and needle thrust to the second one. The end of each lap is where I really shine, just dropping and dash turning instead of lingering on walls. I've been behind this entire race. I need a flawless lap. A perfect lap. We're neck and neck. Am I going to screw up the first turn a third time? Ah, why didn't I harpoon? Don't give up. Needle thrust and dash onto the upcoming racing floor. It's gonna be a close one. My cuts at the end may be able to close the gap. I win! Give me your mask shard, you JVer. I'm off to face the varsity Heart of the Wild by going up in this stretched out zone. Here it is, the second Old Heart location. Inside is a pink being that is old, suffering, and maybe on the brink of death. But I am not here to face her, but rather I am here to face her past self. I awaken to a lovely voice singing from afar off. It is the Pink Lady in her prime, and I've come to challenge her. I know what'll get her attention. I'll call her Grandma.
Grandma!
Oh, that is disrespectful. Is there anyone left in Pharloom that will respect my time? Thankfully, she doesn't commit a sin as grave as Coral Tower did, as there were only 5 regular red ants to best. Then she sent her Imperial Guards as the last preliminary. Their attacks were fairly straightforward, and they became even less of a nuisance in future rematches. So I'll accept this warm-up. Now come and face me like a woman! I see. You must be the leader of this red tribe. Have you heard of the genocides I've committed? Do you care to avenge them? Ooh, slow the smack talk, Andrew. She's kicking your butt. Heal. We must not falter. She massacred me. Maybe I'm the one that needs to be respecting her time, because I'm gonna be here for a while. In fact, I can confidently say she takes the crown for the most difficult boss thus far. There is one later that may compete for the top position, but I honestly can't decide right now. Watching this playback footage is painful. Carmelita here at times turns into a buzzsaw and follows up with spikes out of the ground 2 times in a row. She also corners me with it and stands in the way of my retreat. The solution is so obvious when reviewing this. I got a pogo on them. How did it take me 3 rounds to figure out such a simple fix? During those failures, I had also gotten used to her other attacks. I knew I was safe hopping over horizontal strikes and also jumping over when she divvies out the curvesicle. And then, similar to many other bosses, after dodging anything she tried to throw at me, I get a quick hit in, then back off, wait, dodge, and poke at her again. Oh no, her battle cry. It's on to phase 2. I froze like a deer in headlights as she chucked out not 1, but 2 boomerangs, each time catching me off guard mid-air too. When reviewing my rematches with her, I couldn't figure out why I was dying to her attacks that I had already seen plenty of times. How come I wasn't adapting, especially if I knew what was coming? And eventually, I think I found out why I was struggling so much, and that is Carmelita's HP. Now, I don't have any facts or numbers as to how much she exactly has, but I do know that these fights went on for a long time each time, and I believe her secret power was to wear me out, causing me to slip up when I shouldn't. She's constantly throwing out threat after threat, and I can't damage her until she opens up in between moves. It was really demoralizing when I lost my rhythm after doing so well against her for so long. I had to wear her out before she wore me out. Fortunately, with over 30 minutes of practice, I could sense when it was okay to be more offensive. I still had to back off every time, but I knew my limits as well as hers. I felt I was in more control when up against the walls. Before knowing her patterns, that was the opposite. But now it gives me more time to react appropriately to her next move. I've been on phase 2 for a while now. It should be over soon. My first time facing her 3rd phase, I've already mentally accepted defeat. However, I was going to study her this round to ensure it only took 1 or 2 attempts max after this. So far, from what I see, there's nothing new save for her reaction speed. She's not taking any breaks. I've said it before, but now it truly is one attack after another, and I'm punished for trying to punish her. The mess-ups continue, costing me to lose early on. But what did I say earlier, huh? I said 2 more tries max, and this is the 2nd. Although I didn't get to the 3rd phase last time, I knew when to deploy the cogflies. Better yet, I didn't even summon them right away during this part. I went a bloody whole 2 minutes solo while I had near full health and Silk. Now that I have neither of them left, it's up to the squad to finish her off. That was an awful dream. Spent nearly an hour reliving it for the hunter's heart. 2 down, 1 to go. I already searched Shellwood for the heart of the woods, so now I'm searching elsewhere for it. Specifically the Underworks and the Grand Gate. I'm super jumping everywhere in these places, yet a breakable wall was discovered simply by wall jumping. Going off the beaten path is becoming a pattern. Whatever gets me there, I don't care. Guard says I have to challenge them if I wish to pass? Dude, you look like a corpse. I don't have time for you. I'm calling your bluff. Let's go, Hornet. Aw, crap, he wasn't bluffing. Your name is Seth? What kind of name is Seth in the world of Hollow Knight? Let's get this over with, girl. He seems to be just some run-of-the-mill enemy. All right, let's hit and run. That shield actually has good range. Dash back in doing a sword uppercut and pogo that noggin. What the heck? Does Seth know how to teleport, or is he just insanely fast? Whoa. That was a close one. Dang, this guy's got a lot of moves. Hopefully there's not more of his kind, because I'm finding his tactics annoying. Look at this. He's juking back and forth, slashes, does links up B, vanishes, reappears, ricochets shield, then blocks my attack. Who is this guy? It's like he has random powers. Will you stop moving for just 1 second? I'm trying to kill you. Hold freaking still. Got you. Oh no, he's got a staggered animation. This is a boss? Why didn't the music change to let me know this was a boss? It's so somber and ambient. No matter, I'll wrap this up quick. 2nd phase. If it's anything like your first, I'll be out of here in no time. All right, he's doing the shield slam explosion, followed by a shield slam explosion, followed by a... Jeez, will you stop it? You're nobody. I need to move on to deal with things much bigger and much more important than you. Holy smokes, you keep going. Are you going to let me land a single hit again? Or am I in for a rude awakening?
Hello.
Stop! I'm already dead! Okay, I'm going to say it. This has been the biggest misjudge I've ever made in this game. Seth is obliterating me. I mean, full-on smacking me around. I can't get past the second phase. He just pops out of nowhere at times and finishes you off. I literally don't know what to do better. I tried the counter. Useless. He is so freaking hard. If you move it on him, he just dances around you and beats you. I'm actually starting to feel hopeless. Would you believe me if I said 23 minutes have gone by already? Dude, this guy is tough. I have to break out different tools. My standard hit, run, and heal set ain't cutting it. And I can't save them for when I think he's close to dying. I need to summon them right away once the second phase begins. Now, I bet some of you are in disgust with how I've described this boss as a nobody. And for those of you that don't know, let me share with you the story of Seth. I read this to you from a Kotaku article. After meeting with Seth Goldman, who was battling cancer in 2020, Team Cherry promised to include a character of Seth's own design, directly named after him. Seth unfortunately lost his battle with cancer, but his memory lives on in Silksong. End quote. A sad story indeed. I think that's super cool of Team Cherry to not only honor him, but they also made Seth such a freaking tough mofo that ended up being in my top 2 most difficult bosses in the game. It's between him and Carmelita. Rest in peace, Seth. You definitely caught me off guard in this game. Entering the shrine Seth was guarding, I play my needle in at the fountain, fall asleep, and dream of a flowery place withholding Nylith, the flower, who drops me into their garden arena. As usual, the first encounter is all about learning their moves, from springing up spike balls to changing sides. Nylith then reveals they can fill the room with dangerous pollen, then sprays out nasty orange stuff for a few seconds. All right, lessons learned. Let's get on to the rematch. Okay, admittedly, this was a couple rematches later, and the reason for that is I thought this was a boring walk in the park boss. And just like 90% of bosses, I needed to lose a couple of times to soak in all of its battle data. All I did was play super safe, and I only attacked when Nylith switched sides. Then during the second and final phase of Nylith, she got rid of the floor. That's the only difference. I don't need to tell you how valuable the wall clinger tool was for this. Again, I waited patiently until Nylith came over to attack me, then I darted over and waited on the other side. I don't believe I ever had trouble healing, and I'm getting bored watching this battle. It did take a good while to secure the W, like maybe close to 5 minutes on my final attempt. I'll just say this, Nylith was way easier than Seth. Look at how much sitting around I'm doing here. Seth wouldn't even let me breathe. In my opinion, Nylith should be the Shrine Guardian, and Seth should have been the carrier of the old heart. Ka-chow! Let's take the pollen heart and get out of this dump. Oh, shamans, insert the hearts of old into me. Ow. Okay, please be softer. Mother freaker! Are you guys trying to kill me? I can't hang on much longer. Am I? Is this a flashback when I was a baby? Look how cute I am. A hornet raised by spiders. Oh, and I was an excellent sower. Now here I am as a child being consulted by my mother, the Weaver Queen, saying I don't need to follow her footsteps. The flashbacks continue, showing how I was raised and trained with such swordsmanship. And then I see myself talking with the White Lady from Hollow Knight, and she gives me a departing gift. The Everbloom. The end is near. Thank you, Snail Shamans. Snail Shamans? Oh, thank you for your sacrifices. I'll wrap up the remaining 14% before taking it to the abyss. What quests still await me? Zaza was heard calling for help near the bellway atop the Great Sandy Steps. Where's your master, boy? Is he stuck in a cave? I'll help yank him out. No. Garmin, the void is overtaking you. I can't spill the blood of a noble knight like you that has stood by my side this adventure. What am I supposed to do? It's a low ceiling. I can't bind or pogo him harmlessly. Oh, Garmin, you're miserable. I must do the hard thing. Call me a coward, but I can't bring myself to slicing him into bits. It's not any more moral to neutralize him with tools, but it's all I can stomach for now. A quick death is the best we can give him right now. Keep on him, boys. I'll distribute pins as well. Come on, Garmin. The poison's gotta be painful, but it can't be worse than being controlled by the void. I shift to the left and right of the sandy steps, depending on where I need to run to. And moments later, Garmin is released from the evil. I'm sorry, old friend. May your soul leave to rest from this horrid land. Poor Zaza. I'm tempted to set up a GoFundMe for that boy. However, duty calls. Gilly the Camo Girl says a hunter stole a doll of hers. Thus, I tracked them down. The scent is going this. Oh, this hunter leaves behind traps. That's a good trap. Okay, another good trap. All right, okay, enough. That's enough traps. Where's this taking me? Let me out. Let me out. Gur, the outcast. Let me out and maybe I'll spare. Oh, well, that wasn't fair. Are you not into playing by the rules? I guess there's a reason you're an outcast. You most certainly love your traps. Meanwhile, I'll plant my feet on the wall until they go, oh, you're placing more. And they get bigger? How wonderful. So when I go in for an attack, I'm kind of stuck to one side until further notice. What I am noticing is his traps are avoidable and you can see Gur's dirt coming up well before he arrives on the surface. At times, he also comes out at an angle, which leads to free hits underneath him if positioned properly. I got greedy, leading to a loss on my second attempt. With the third, though, I played it exactly as I should. It likely would have been even more effortless and quicker if I had some shards to replenish my tools. That's why I didn't use any for this boss. I'll have to restock later at one of the shops. I've got plenty of cash. It's crazy that I haven't ever run out of tool ammunition until this far into my playthrough. Anyhow, I stayed on the ground most of the brawl, leapt into the air when needed to attack or to dodge, and took out Gur from underneath. Gilly's doll is retrieved and a mask shard is given in return. Moving on, I shut down 10 void masses for a quest and went looking for the remaining 2 fleas. The first was just outside of the exhaust organs that required a super jump to get to, and the second was secretly hidden away underneath a platform at the far field station, past some prickly spikes that I'm all too used to by now. The last flea has been rescued. As a token of gratitude, the flea master gives me the egg of Fleelia. Decreases the cost of silk scales while health is full? Buddy, I'm in the end game now. I'm never at full health. The only thing that matters health-wise right now is raising my max HP. At this point, it's still during the first week of Silksong's release, and the community is helping each other out to find missing pieces. When I asked for assistance, someone told me to stab Grandma's arm. Okay, hold a grudge much? Apparently, there was a benefit in doing so, stealing the pale nails. I may not like her, but Grandma's got style. While I'm up in the cradle, I'll see what else is around here. It's quite the climb to get up here, and I don't care to do it again. Little did I know that Silksong's version of the Path of Pain was a few floors up. I've been teasing that a harder climb was coming down the line for some time now. However, looking back on it, it's not all that difficult. It still is probably the most arduous traversal in the game, but I think I've been playing Silksong for so long, from early morning to late at night, multiple days in a row, and I was so close to completing the game that any hurdle just added to my frustration. This is about 5 minutes of attempts in, and then I realized what made this climb so exhausting. If at any point you touch a spike during your ascent, you start over. When you have to jump around a wall with spikes on the other end, harpoon, then double jump, sometimes crap like this happens. All the way back to the freaking beginning. Surely I won't make that same mistake twice. You see what I mean? That's life tilting stuff if I've ever seen it. The hitboxes are not forgiving around these parts. I gotta stay low, then harpoon and double jump. Nothing to it. I've been through way worse in Hollow Knight. Didn't even spend 10 minutes on this section. Now let's see what awaits me at the top.
Huh?
Oh my goodness! I almost had a heart attack that there was nothing up here. Why they gotta do me like that? Is this where the beginning of Hollow Knight took place? No, it can't be. I was kidnapped from Hallownest and taken here. Why are the bugs passive? I strummed my needle in at what looks like was somebody's home. Witness dialogue from a spirit, and then a surface memento drops down. It can be displayed in my home as a decoration. So that trek was all meaningless. Okay, let's see what the fleas are up to in Fleetopia. I remember the place being livelier. Oh, no, you didn't. Did you eat the fleas? Miss Hornet, forgive us, but we beg one more favor from you. Will you have an end of the world festival with us? Man, not cool. I have PTSD from fathers eating their own kind. Anywho, the fleas interpreted the void coming over the land as a sign of the end of times, which technically they could be right if I fail to stop, but they've accepted their demise and want to go out with a bang by holding the flea games. The first being flea juggling. Now, I'm not going to be dragging this whole thing out because I want to wrap things up, but let me tell you, this flea juggling was no joke. Dare I say, if it was a boss fight, it would most certainly be in the top half of most difficult boss fights, at the least. To quote-unquote win these minigames, which you need to do in order to finish the quest, you have to get the highest score among the fleas. I am embarrassed to say that I struggled for 15 minutes on this first minigame, and it's one of those activities that is so frustrating to lose at because, I don't know, it just does. I thought it was just me that sucked, but then going online made me feel a lot better when reading a whole heck lot of other people wanted to rip their hair out during this. Anyhow, my tips are, switch your crest to the fast swinging one and get good. 33, thank gosh. On to the second minigame, flea dodging. See how long you can last without falling to the ground. You are allowed to touch the fleas, you just have to recover back onto a platform. When they come in contact, it's more like a bump rather than a wha-pow. It was harder than it looked, but it only took 5 tries and was not a nightmare like flea juggling. 70 fleas dodged, I'll take it. Flea bouncing was saved as the best for last, and in terms of not stressing me out, it indeed was the best one. I only needed one single attempt to beat this. All you gotta do is pogo on the fleas and that's it. The developers probably designed it around the other crests, but the Reaper's down air is OP as always. I'm glad I never left it and it has served me well. 49 fleas bounced on means I achieved the high score for every minigame, which gives me the honor of breaking open the piñata for more pale oil. I thought I had maxed out. Oh, what a happy day. Well, I wish I had it before Seth and Carmelita, but that's besides the point. Mushrooms? I was just super jumping in Fleetopia. What have I walked into? I read the glowing ruin. It states the Master Herald is here and gives clues to 7 locations. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow your roll. Let me have the Pinmaster sharpen my blade. Now we can seek out the Herald by following the clues on the glowing ruin. Here's how it worked. I had to backtrack to each location hinted. Play the needle in around the mushrooms, and then Mr. Mushroom would mumble a few words. Hornet responds by asking a question, and then he would just leave without answering. I'll just say where I am at each spot in the poem where Mr. Mushroom is found. The first was at Bone Bottom in the ruined chapel. The second was also in Bone Bottom over the pilgrimage camp. The third was in Far Fields east of the Seamstress. The fourth was in Greymoor under the entrance to the Wisp Thicket. The fifth was, the slab map. The fifth was at the slab in the room outside of the first sinner's tomb. The sixth was atop Mount Faye. And the seventh is above Cradle's Peak at Nameless Town. But thank the heavens there is a shortcut to skip past the Silksong Path of Pain. Well, technically he's in this hole. Anyways, he finally talks to me, gives useless advice, then literally rockets off. Were you expecting more out of that quest? So was I. Well, moving on, I've got this crow summons. Maybe it's for the house at Crow Lake. Yup, it sure was. I really missed a lot of secrets and blamed it on not having a double or super jump. My punishment? The jury will decide in the court of the crows. All that's different with these judicials is they wear fancy hats, yet I still slaughter them like the animals that they are. I appeal my case to a higher court and my plea is heard. All arise for the Crow Father. Order! Order in the court! No offense, Your Honor, but attacking with your beak only gives you so much range. Don't you have a bailiff or a ball and chain? Ah, there they are. There's the chains. If that's all you have to show for, then I call for a motion to dismiss. It's clear I'm well above you in terms of skill, tools, and a sharpened blade. You served your district well, but I gotta get going. I'll take your crow bell as compensation for my time. It's like a birdhouse in my yard. Onto a part of Hunter's March that's given me nothing yet. I know this room is hiding something from me. Team Cherry doesn't just code in rooms for no reason. And there it is, a secret passageway to a dead guy that dropped something. Nice? The fractured mask protects me from death once between each bench use. One room above that dead guy were corrupted ants defending a curve claw. Can we just call it a boomerang?
Hey, mister, I want that.
Knock yourself out, kid. After sitting on a bench and returning, the young lad crafted it into a curvesicle. Add it onto the counter. I should have used more tools, but it's so hard to break away from stuff you're already used to. Anyhow, up at the memoriam is another secret pathway I've missed that was hiding the Volt vessels. I'm getting worse. I didn't even check what that one does. Thief. You have anything new you're selling? Magnetite dice, like I have a choice. Used to bring luck to the bearer. Sure, why not? I love how I don't consider any new tools most of the time. Then the dice read, oh, you'll get lucky. And then I immediately equip it. I bet it's driving you all nuts. Back at the shaman's corpses, I super jumped to bind the crest of the shaman. Ah, it shoots out sword beams. Why do they save all this cool stuff towards the end of the game? It also is designed to equip 3 silk skills at once. I want to use this awesome gear throughout throughout my journey, not just for the final boss. Whatever. Here's another mask piece hidden in a cave at Mount Faye. Then at the White Ward, I snuck under the elevator for the penultimate spool fragment. Scoured the place until I found an opening in one of the ceilings where the surgeon's key was stored. Inserted said key on, I can't remember what level. But what's important is I stumbled upon what must be an unraveled patient that had a failed surgery. Or is he the doctor, because he's spitting out dead bodies? That was his first attack, and now here's his second. And he's got an invulnerable helmet. It's hard to describe, but the projectiles are tough to avoid. You just don't know what angle he's shooting at right when he comes up. Although it doesn't matter because healing is effortless. And to farm Silk, you just gotta hit him on the side. Oh my, those are people with unsuccessful surgeries. I'm sorry for your conditions, but I'm pretty sure you don't have any control over yourselves right now. So I'll put you out of your misery. I pronounce you dead. Again. The brawl in the hospital continues to get out of hand with the unraveled doctor somehow using telekinesis to bring forth spears from the ground and then tries to stab me with them all while flailing around the room himself. This honcho's real ace, though, is his health. Man, this attempt alone took right under 5 minutes, and I failed twice before. There's nothing else aside from anything you... Whoa, did you see that? That's the power of the dice, baby. It protects you from damage every so often. I'm never taking these off. That's like adding pseudo lives. Anyways, there's nothing more you haven't seen. I discharge you from the ward, watch you exit into the next life, and claim the last silk heart. Speaking of last items, let's grab the last of a couple more features. Above Bone Bottom's village is a breaking wall, holding the final spool fragment within, and the last mask shard was where I could have smacked a box up in the Whispering Vaults. A total of 10 masks have been obtained. That's all of them. I'm at 99% completion. Believe it or not, there's actually one more area I've not yet visited that is just east of the Crow's establishment. It's been a while, Green Prince. These caves were once a glorious land of his people, but fate fell upon them. That was very descriptive of you, Your Highness. Not? Let me see what it was really like. Behold, Lost Verdania, a land full of green lushness as far as the eye can see, filled with familiar creatures and new enemies that only slightly vary from foes I've faced before. Here, the trail of the stag touched pale. They hunted her, and I followed the trail of feathers to see why it was so desired. A couple turns later, and I had found it. The stag! It howled in beauty, then teleported. It sent forth glowing curvesicles that were humorous at best. I chased down the steed, and it must have realized that its fate was short at hand, with me on its tail. 5 glowing orbs emitted from the animal, and collecting them sent a light somewhere unknown to me. As I kept exploring the Lost Verdania, I came across more of these orbs of light that would trigger after slicing a bud. If they were not gathered within a certain time limit, the fluorescence would diminish, causing me to reattempt the trial. Thus, before restarting, I eliminated whoever stood in my way, then finished the routine without interruption. Others radiated from statues I broke, to which I then proceeded by floating down past prickly spikes. A particular tablet read, "When 3 fonts weep, our sacred shrine shall rise." This is quite a calm change of pace compared to what I'm used to. Seeking out each of these fonts was a breeze with them being in the same vicinity. And would you look at that? When 3 fonts wept, the sacred shrine arose, along with more flashy goodness when I strummed. To pinpoint the positions of remaining remnants of luminescence, I would play my needle in and then follow the light. The time trials slightly varied from one to another. This one blinding me with the light of God, and another bringing the wrath of the insects. However, for the most part, it was pretty chill. You know, with the breakable walls and confronting the Green Prince himself, an empty 2-seated throne, who was supposed to rule with you. Do not seek to console me, warrior. You who dare trespass this sacred chamber, ready yourself. It's the cog dancers in the flesh. Well, the ghost is impervious to damage, but can still harm me, which doesn't seem fair. All right, ChatGPT, write me a sequel for these lovers. Ahem. The cog hearts return. From rust and shadow, gears awoke. One lover rose through ash and smoke. His eyes still burned, his cogs still cried. For love, for vengeance, he defied. Steel met steel, a furious song. His dance became both fierce and strong. Yet fate returned. The blade was true. Again he fell, his love in view. Now both lie still, their cogs at rest. 2 hearts broken, and silence blessed. Close enough, ChatGPT. That will do, that will do. The conjoined heart, it beats sharp and clear. Rest easy, my green friend. Now that all the maps have been collected and the lover's heart is my decoration, I'm at 100%, 99% still? Apparently, I need to unlock all of my memory lockets. I don't need to find all of them. I just need enough. How much is enough exactly? Well, I don't know. The good news is I've unlocked the required amount for Eva to fully upgrade my nature, including expanding my crests to hold another blue tool and evolving the crest of the hunter. Yawn. Eva then lets me bind her to put her out of her misery, giving me the art of the Silksong that regenerates silk while resting at a bench. Yes! Finally!
Now we can finally play the game.
I equip the Druid's Eye to replenish silk whenever I'm damaged. Then... I'm glad that didn't happen mid-final boss fight. Also, I just realized, how am I going to get back down to the abyss? A new diving bell? Vallo, you magnificent engineer, you've done it. Is it plot convenience? Yes, but who cares? Let's go. A simple blackout screen and I'm at the abyss. What a much smoother experience. Time to get serious. Child, Lace, let us meet one final time and quell this black ruin of our making. Are you sure? What waits below is me no longer. I have to try. For Lace! For Pharloom! Everbloom, light the way! Protect me from the wretched tentacles of this void. I'll take care of the rest, and maybe, just maybe, live to tell the tale. Grandma, where is she? You hang there acting like you care, yet are so pathetic. What's this? Another one of your tricks? Oh, it's Lace. Hang in there, girl. You're lost. I'll take you home. You got any new moves? Dashing side to side with tendrils in between is gonna get you pogoed. Ooh, you got me there. It's also been a while since we've last skirmished, so I'll have to adjust again to your antics. Here it comes again, and I get out of the way this time. My goodness, did you take Compound V or something? I'm safe to heal high in the air, while you slide back and forth thrice, leaving yourself for an opening. She parried it. So far, the standard rule of combat applies in this battle, where I wait for her attack to finish, then I go in for a hit myself. Yet I'm still not respecting her. This isn't the Lace I fought before. I need to adapt. Luckily, I'm given quite a few second chances thanks to the dice and a wide arena to safely bind. I've got it through my thick skull not to underestimate this Shadow Lace. So even if I miss a strike, I back off and wait for the next opportunity. I might as well. There are aplenty. Soon enough, Lost Lace lets out a laugh, then proceeds to summon void tendrils from the ground and spout shadow balls that spin like buzzsaws. The shadowiness continues with darkness being spat all over the stage. Unfortunately, this means the air is no longer always safe, and I'm going to need to change up some of my escape plans. Diving back in, I briskly make it back to phase 2 with minimal life and silk lost. Somehow, on the fly, I deciphered how to dodge the aerial void orbs. Whenever I see them start to appear, I get to the ground, stacked. This saves your jump and double jump for when you need to avoid Lace's following attacks. I was astounded with how well it was working, and kept up the momentum of keeping the flow of battle in my control even amidst close calls. Of course, right when I say that, doom begins to befall me, and I keep screwing up. Why didn't I dash here? The skies are murderous. And why the aggression? This isn't the way. Wait for it. Dash uppercut. Keep still. She's coming back in with a dive attack. Now pogo! That can't be it. Oh, I knew it. Grandma, what do I do? Oh, jeez. Message read loud and clear. I'll play my Nito. That was a cheap shot. I ain't falling for that again. Ascended script, latch onto the wall. Here it comes. Jump! That wasn't so bad. Dear Pale King, another void wave? Somebody call a plumber. Lost Lace is back. Ready yourself, Hornet. Remember, stay on the ground. I know it's tempting. Atta girl! There we go! Yeah, baby! Keep it up! This is just like phase 2, but the void world is draining. Sure, we make mistakes, but we keep going. The scars are part of me. Darkness and harmony. When one side seems to make a splash, dart to the other end, and oh, I need to drop to the ground and not hover. It's amazing how often that strategy applies to this finale. She's laughing again. Have I entered the 4th phase? Sure have. Now let's see. Get out of the circular lights. Simple enough. Man, she never stops. And it was the bane of my current shell. Now that I've made it this far, it's time to tool up. Only 2 flies at a time to ensure I'm getting the maximum use out of each of them. And instead of going in after Lace attacks, I throw pins. I won't be dashing in myself as long as I have ammo. Also, I take the waves head on, double jumping and dashing over them. Playing coy around her move that most recently killed me is paying off. It even opens up some pogos. Lost Lace, I love ya. You are definitely one of the most fun bosses I've faced. I could point to my mistakes for every loss versus you, and your tactics were more than fair. This truly is a worthy duel and capstone of an event for what decides the fate of Pharloom. It's time to come home, Lace. Stop the inner demons inside of you. Be free! Lace? Lace, are you okay? The void, it's vanishing. I think there's only one way out, and I hope it can hold the both of us. Grandma, if you truly care for her, give me your strength! Hang on tight! I don't know if we're gonna make it! The void, it's too much! And now, the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew, but through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. The record shows I took the blows and did it more. But brother? Hey, yeah, so next time you go plunging into the dark abyss, give me a call first. I know, I'm insane. It was nice seeing you too, though. And brother, thanks for saving Lace. I know she's crazy, but she is family. Meanwhile, afar off at the lands of Nameless Town, a fungi rocket blasts up. What will become of him? To be continued. That's 100% completion, and I even got the achievement for it. Wow, talk about a new record for my lengthiest video. Please support it by giving it a like. We spent hundreds of hours on it, and subscribe for more content. You all have a good one. Thanks.